Hello, welcome to the Fanfic Majesty. If you want more content, you can follow me on Patreon. I will be uploading more content on there that will be exclusive. The link is in the description. Please support me. 3TS. Chapter 41 Hawkeye. Fight with me. The ultimate swordsman of that era. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Captain, this call came a little early, but Whitebeard came from the bottom of his heart. Only he knows what Yuri's action means. His current body is almost exhausted, and even hockey can hardly use it. Once he is hit by his stupid son, his strength will drop to another level. At that time, not to mention rescuing Ace, even protecting these sons from leaving safely will be an impossible task. So, this time, Yuri not only helped him, but also saved the entire Whitebeard pirates. If I had agreed to return to Rock's pirate before, I had thoughts and considerations about the transaction. Now, Whitebeard completely agrees with Yuri. For such a great captain, his pirate group will surely be a warm and harmonious home. On the way to the charge, Whitebeard had a smile on his lips. As for how Yuri knew that Skuyard planned to attack him, it does not matter. There are so many weird abilities in this world. According to legend, observation hockey can see the future and listen to the voices of all things after practicing to a certain level. That figure appeared in Whitebeard's mind. Yuri. I didn't expect that you would reach that level. Suddenly, the figure in his mind overlapped with Ace on the execution platform. In a daze, he seemed to be back on the island again. Roger held the knife on the spot and waited excitedly. He jumped forward, fighting spirit shining in his eyes. At this moment, just like that time. Gulala. Really? You're already old. I feel so passionate after a long time. Ace. I made you suffer. Dad, I will save you right now. Whitebeard's eyes sparkled with endless fighting spirit. On top of the supreme sharp knife, Kongyunchi, the shaking force condensed into a ball and was swung forward. Moment. All intercepted Marines ahead. Whether it was the Lieutenant Colonel or the Vice Admiral, they were all thrown away. Even the Vice Admiral of our headquarters can be knocked away instantly. So powerful. Hiss. Is this the true strength of the strongest person in the world? Marine was shocked. Whitebeard's initial attack was extremely terrifying. But at that time, Admiral took action and neutralized the attack. As melon eaters, they can only watch the fun. Now, fight Whitebeard personally. Only then did I know what monster-level strength is. What does it mean to be the strongest man in the world? Gu la la la. A bunch of brats, want to stop me. Whitebeard's fighting spirit became more and more fierce. Wherever you go, there is no enemy. The captains of the Whitebeard pirates followed behind him like broken bamboo. Another powerful and heavy blow cut out a ravine more than 10 meters long in front of him. Whitebeard was about to swing his sword and strike again. Suddenly, I found that there was a huge force blocking the blade. In the dust ahead, there was a sound of fighting and iron horses. Hello. Let you keep making trouble like this again. Marineford is going to be ruined. The smoke shattered. A figure in a fiery red suit appeared. The white cloak of justice behind him swayed in the wind. It is none other than Admiral of Headquarters, Logia Lava Fruit user, Sakazuki nicknamed Akainu. He put his hands in his pockets and stepped on the Kongyunchi with one foot. Lava was rolling on his resolute face. Really? One or two, both want to destroy the Marine headquarters. Kill you first, then kill that person named Yuri. You guys from the old era should have died long ago. Whitebeard could feel the power of Akainu in front of him. After all, it is one of Marine's highest combat abilities. But, advertisement. He is not afraid at all. In his eyes, the fighting spirit is as real as substance. Because, lousy. But Whitebeard. Boom. Whitebeard and Akainu fight fiercely. White and red light intertwined. Lava is rolling. The void is shaking. Waves of terror, one after another. No strangers are allowed within tens of meters around the two of them. On the Moby Dick, looking at the extremely fierce Whitebeard, Yuri also decided to take action. This battle is already difficult to resolve through negotiation. At least, the negotiation is futile until Marine pays the price. In that case, then let Marine pay a sufficient price. Yuri stepped forward. A long sword appeared and landed at his feet. Ugn flew directly towards Ace. Suddenly, there was a flamingo-like figure in the sky, swinging towards this side like Spider-Man. When you get in front of him, attack directly. Dropping ruffian string. It turned out that it was Doflamingo who had planned to run away before. Seeing that the meteorite crisis was resolved, he came back to fight again. After all, they are celestial dragons with status and status. In order to save face, he took the initiative to find Yuri. In his opinion, this Yuri's strength is just that. It's just a matter of summoning meteorites, all relying on the Devil Fruit ability. Devil Fruit is powerful, but that doesn't mean it must be powerful. Sucrose is a good example. In this world, anger is everything. Foo. I won't let you pass so easily. Doflamingo is very confident. After all, he is Conqueror's Haki, the master of all cities. Yuri just glanced at Doflamingo. For this person, I sympathize with what happened to him when he was young. But I looked down upon what he did next. A king who relies on lies and violence to maintain peace is such a failure. Oh, really? He said lightly, and then a cold light flashed. Doflamingo's head has left his neck. However, no blood appears. Foo. Can you actually kill my line clone with one strike? Behind a building, Doflamingo appeared with an ugly face. That won't let you pass either. Birdcage. Suddenly, endless threads spurted out from the headless thread clone. It turned into a huge spider web, covering the nearby sky. What an annoying ability. Is Brother Ming strong? Not strong at all, not good at anything. Level 4. But, his birdcage is really annoying. Now that he has blocked the nearby sky, even if it is broken, he may come back to another level. Moreover, when removing the spider web threads in the sky, you will be attacked by others. What a waste of time. Time is the most precious now. Yuri was too lazy to fight with Doflamingo and landed back to the ground. Unexpectedly, Doflamingo stuck on me again from a distance like a dog's skin plaster. Birdcage also blocked the sky over Yuri again. A look like, if you don't beat me to death, don't even think about it. So annoying. In that case, let's do the surgery on you first. Yuri was about to take action. Suddenly, Southern Volume secreted wildly next to him. Crocodile appeared with a cigar in his mouth and a domineering look on his face. Hello. Leave this guy to me. I had some friction with him in the dark world before, and this time it's time to settle the score. Doflamingo is engaged in underground trade in arms, slaves, assassinations, devil fruit and many other businesses. There is some overlap with Lao Shaw's previous Baroque workshop. Therefore, there was often friction in the past. Advertisement. However, because one was in the first half of the Grand Line and the other was in the New World, the friction did not continue to escalate. Now we meet in Marineford, just in time to see who is the king of the Dark World. Good. I'll leave it to you. As for Lao Shaw, Yuri is not worried that he will lose. After all, he is also the future deputy, father, of the 4 emperors. It's not a big problem to deal with a guy like Doflamingo who sweats when he hears the name 4 emperors. After that, move on. Hello. Don't even think about leaving. Doflamingo still wanted to stop him, but suddenly, a sharp shout appeared. Hello. Your opponent is me, Heavenly Yaksha. Doflamingo. Desert Greatsword. Crocodile, the elemental form appears in front of Doflamingo. The two began to fight. One side Paramesha string fruit, one side Logia sand fruit. It can be said that when a strong general meets a good talent, when a chess match meets an opponent, the fight is irresistible. After taking a look, Yuri moved on. Suddenly, there are strange fluctuations ahead. 1. Like a bear's paw, a translucent energy ball came over. Boom. The violent explosion instantly blew away everything around him, stopping Yuri's progress. Yuri, your existence is not conducive to world peace. Here, leave you. 7 warlords of the sea, tyrant, Bartholomew Bear appears. He said the most words so far. Looking at the cute tall figure wearing a Madara bear hat in front of him, Yuri's eyes were filled with sadness. As a time traveler, he knows the life of Big Bear. When I was a child, I was a slave and could not be free. When I was young, I was not free because of love. In middle age, for the sake of my daughter, I cannot be free. To this day, for the sake of revolution, freedom is still denied. A person who eats meatball fruit and can go wherever he wants should be the freest person in the world, but he has never gained true freedom in his life. For an idealist who has suffered a lot and yearns for peace. Yuri, I can't do it. But he also has his own ideals that he wants to pursue. Bartholomew Bear. Get out of the way, you are not my opponent. The big bear kept silent. In his hands, the air began to bulge, which already indicated his intention. Zero, please ask for flowers. Alas. Then don't blame me. A long metal knife flew over and fell into Yuri's hand. Strong sword intent, ready to go. Ha! Death wink. Suddenly, a huge head rushed over with an ugly wink. Ivankov arrived. He looked at the big bear that was knocked back several meters but was unharmed, and said in a low voice, Yuri boy. Go forward with confidence. Bartholomew Bear, leave it to me. Perfect match. Yuri could only say. To deal with the big bear, Ivankov is perfect. All right, Ivankov, I leave it to you. Don't go too far. Ivankov winked at Yuri and spoke with great confidence. Don't worry. I will try my best to fight. Fight with all your strength. I think you should try your best to act. Two soldiers of the Revolutionary Army, fighting together. It's time to start thinking about Oscar winner candidates. Yuri complained and moved on. Suddenly, a powerful sword intent struck. Now that you have grasped the sword, then, it's time to compete. 7 warlords of the sea, the world's greatest swordsman, Eagle Eye, Mihawk, are here. He looked at Yuri, his sharp eyes like an eagle shining with unprecedented brilliance. Advertisement. In front of his eyes. However, a strong man from Roger's era. From the peerless swordsman who passed down the swordsmanship of the legendary great pirate, Golden Lion Shiki. Such an opponent. Point 0. Just thinking about it makes my blood boil. Oh my god, one after another. Do these Shichibukai have no rivals? Yuri is so helpless. First it was Doflamingo, then Big Bear, and now Mihawk. He is also the most powerful among the Shichibukai, an emperor-level warrior who can match the red-haired strength of the 4 emperors. Fighting with him will never end without fighting for days and nights. How to save Ace? Save someone whose body and head were broken in 2. He is not Zhongzia, and he cannot send him to Yushu Palace in Kunlun Mountain. Ah! Yuri threw away the sword in his hand, then spread his hands, with an innocent look on his face. I'm not a swordsman now. Mihawk. Hawkeye is confused. He has never seen any strong person do this. How can I fight if I lose my sword? If we don't compare swordsmanship, what will I do with him? Why don't you go and have fun with your good gay redhead friend? No. He must be allowed to compete with me. With a serious expression on his face, Hawkeye pulled out the world's strongest black sword and walked towards Yuri step by step. My day. Good on you, Hawkeye. Lousy has thrown away his sword, you still want to fight. Lousy just doesn't want to waste time. Is Lousy afraid of you? Yuri complained in his mind. At the same time, be prepared and ready to take action at any time. But, unexpectedly, Hawkeye didn't have the slightest intention to kill. He came to Yuri and thrust the black knife into Yuri's hand. You have a sword now. One of the 12 skills of the Supreme Sharp Sword, the strongest black sword in the world, Yi. You are worthy of using her. Yuri. Damn it. What the hell is going on? Mihawk, you are crazy. In order to compete with swordsmen, can you give your favorite sword to the enemy? Would it be better to say that you are mentally retarded, or that you are a sword fanatic? Looking at the black knife in her hand, Yuri could feel her excitement. A peerless sword can be held in the hands of a peerless swordsman for the rest of his life, which is considered a satisfying swordsmanship. As for her, she was held by 2 peerless swordsmen. Kongyunchi, Ace, Ace, Griffin, Griffin. What kind of useless snacks are you all? If the knife could talk, Knight would definitely say so. At this time, Yuri is in trouble. Now that he has a knife in his hand, it doesn't make sense that he doesn't have to. Let's compare, fight for days and nights, and really collect Ace's body. Suddenly, He looked at the helpless Mihawk, and his eyes lit up. Cough. Mihawk, I know your fighting spirit. However, I have a knife now, but you don't. You don't want to use the small blade around your neck to fight me, do you? That's an insult to fighting. Looking at the impassioned Yuri in front of him, Hawkeye was stunned. He had just been thinking about practicing swordsmanship. At this time, I didn't even think that if I gave the sword to Yuri, wouldn't I have a sword as well? How can you practice swordsmanship without a sword? Looking at the somewhat dazed Hawkeye, Yuri felt confused. He stuffed the knife back into the opponent's hand, then walked cheerfully, singing a little song, and continued to move forward. Suddenly, a clear female voice sounded. I have 9. Chapter 42. Wait for me. One day I will challenge you. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. M.I. Mihawk. Sir, I have a knife here. Yuri turned his head and saw not far away, a cute marine girl wearing glasses, looking timidly. Facing Yuri and Hawkeye, she was very scared and spoke tremblingly. But the hand holding the knife didn't move at all. Quote? Tashigi, why are you here to join in the fun? Yuri complained in his mind. Who the hell wants a knife from you? Can you play while you're at it? Why didn't I stun you just now? How did Tashigi know this? She took a deep breath, looked resolute, and pulled out the long knife in her hand with great piety. One of the 50 good swordsmen, Xiaoya Shiger. Although it's far from the world's strongest black sword, Mihawk-sama. But, please 2 more, let her fight. It doesn't matter even if it's destroyed. This will be the greatest honor in her life. Please. Tashigi raised his sword forward and bowed deeply. Pious. How pious. Yuri understands that this is a swordsman's choice for her sword. No magnets used. He walked over, stretched out his hand, and held Xiaoyi Shiger. The moment he picked it up, he could feel that a young mouse was blocking it. This is Tashigi's final reluctance. Immediately, she seemed to have figured something out and let go. Created by Zero Sanchi. It is for the strongest swordsman to use. Xiaoyi Shiger is just like her name. In the hands of the peerless swordsman, a short but long night rain blooms that belongs to you. Yuri drew the sword with his right hand. A famous sword with cold light like rain revealed its true appearance in front of him. He stroked it gently with his left hand, feeling the material of the blade. When you reach the 7 inches of the sword body, tap lightly with your fingers. Ding! The sword chanted crisply, like a clear water. Even in the noisy battlefield, he is still high-spirited. Good knife. In this life, the best sword Yuri has ever played is Shiki's Sakura Ju and Deadwood. Although the material of the current Saya Shiger is not as good as those two, it still has its own temperament. As warm and moist as water. Burn its beauty. Pity. The gap with the supreme sharp knife is too big. Not to mention the strongest black sword in the world. Even if armament hockey is used to entangle and fight, it will definitely break after a fight. Thinking like this, Yuri stuffed the knife back into Tashigi's arms with a serious expression. This marine, you are wrong. The wish of every sword is not to be in the hands of a strong man, to be gorgeous for a moment, but to become the supreme black sword. As her master, as a swordsman. Since you want her to show off to the world, then, work hard to become stronger. Advertisement. Powerful enough for her to make a sword. It's so powerful that Xiaoyi Shiger will last forever. This is Yuri's truest thought. Of course, it's true that if you don't have a sword, you don't have to fight Hawkeye. Yuri's words made Tashigi enlightened. Yes, every famous sword wants to meet a powerful owner and have a splendid life. Why can't that person be me? When did I lose my desire to pursue the way of Kendo? Seems to have figured something out. Tashigi has a sword with sharp sword intent that reaches the sky. Looking at Yuri's back as he receded, Tashigi shouted. Yuri, Captain of Rocks Pirate Rocks D. Yuri. If you can survive today. So, wait for me. One day, I will take Xiaoyi Shiger. To challenge you. I swear. Yuri smiled, very happily. Everyone in the world likes to be a teacher. What could be better for a swordsman to understand his swordsmanship and start climbing to the top? Congratulations. Hawkeye suddenly spoke, looking at Tashigi's eyes full of admiration. You have taught a good apprentice. Apprentice. No. She is not my apprentice. I am not qualified to be a master either. Yuri looked into the distance and said in a leisurely tone, We are just apprentices on the path to the pinnacle of swordsmanship. Hearing this, Mihawk was shocked. The art of swordsmanship is so high that no one knows its peak. I, known as the greatest swordsman in the world, am just one of the climbers on this path. Seeing the enlightened Mihawk, Yuri became even happier. Enlightenment. I will leave first. Yuri was happy and moved on. It's a pity that I can't fight you today. But, suddenly, Mihawk's voice came from behind again. He had a serious expression and pulled out his black knife. Pirate rocks D. Yuri. You can't pass. You can't duel as a swordsman and a swordsman. Then fight as 7 warlords of the sea and pirates. Ha. Yuri has a headache. Mihawk's battle is probably unavoidable. I glanced at Whitebeard, who was still fighting against Akainu. There was no complete space around dozens of meters away. Looked at Crocodile and Ivankov again. Oh shit. 4 Oscar winners. Suddenly, Yuri's eyes lit up when he saw a familiar figure. It's you. Those who inherit the power of rocks should fight against the strongest in the world. Magnetic activation. Suddenly, a figure with a big nose was pulled over by him. The treasures on his body fell to the ground. Scare. Who dares to attack the great Captain Buggy? Ah, it's brother Yuri. What's the matter? That's right. Advertisement. The person Yuri pulled over was none other than Buggy. Chop chop fruit. Tenka slash. Even if you are the greatest swordsman in the world, what can you do to him? In 2 years, I won't be able to become his deputy. Perfect match. Buggy. I leave this person in front of you to you. Did not ask. Buggy was about to agree when he suddenly saw the face of the person opposite. Eagle. Okay. Don't be whiny. I'll leave him to you. After saying that, he threw Buggy directly towards Mihawk. He can hold me back by relying on you. Mihawk swung his sword, and instantly, a powerful slash came out horizontally. Scared. Brother Yuri, save me. Buggy panicked. Opposite are 7 warlords of the sea. The world's greatest swordsman. No matter what his identity is, he is not someone he can touch. Phew. The slash swept across. The iceberg in the distance was suddenly cut off. It's over. I'm going to die. Huh. Buggy suddenly realized something was wrong. Although his body was broken in 2, he was paradoxically unscathed. Only then did he remember his abilities. Yes. I'm a torn man who ate chop chop fruit. Slash. It doesn't work on me. Thinking of this, Buggy's heart came back again. What 7 warlords of the sea? The greatest swordsman in the world. Lousy Buggy is the man who wants to become 4 emperors and join Rock's pirate. Just a Hawkeye. He only deserves to be my little brother. Scare ha ha ha. Brother Yuri, you go first. Leave this guy to me. Okay. Yuri moved on with peace of mind. There is no need to care about Buggy's safety. Not to mention splitting into pieces, it can only defeat slashing attacks. Conqueror's luck, is it a wasted reputation? Get rid of 3 Shichibukai in a row, except for the stunned Gecko Moria, the Shichibukai lineup on the battlefield at this moment, and ahead, an arrogant, cold and beautiful woman, looking down on all living beings, stood there. 7 warlords of the sea, the Emperor of 9 Snakes Island, the most beautiful woman in the world, the Empress, Boa Hancock. At this time, his face was expressionless, staring at Yuri. Real. I don't like hitting women. He is still the Emperor of Huohuahua and their country. The fire flower on Rock's pirate is the Granny Twisted on 9 Snake Island. When Yuri was young, she almost became his stepmother. Forget it. Let's find a helper. Yuri looked around the battlefield. Luffy and Luo are making rapid progress. Luffy. No. What if he and Hancock hook up again? Luo. No. His strength is too strong. I'm afraid he will be killed by one move. Advertisement. Suddenly, Yuri spotted a tall green-skinned figure moving around in the marine. Each move looks powerful, but in fact it is so gentle. Marine who was hit by him only fainted and his life was not in danger. 7 warlords of the sea, sea hero, Jinbei. Shichibukai should be right Shichibukai, Oh my god, what a genius. Ha ha ha. Pairing successful. Yuri called Jinbei over. Mr. Yuri. Why are you calling me? Jinbei works hard. He wants to rescue Ace, and he wants the Fishmen Island to continue to be sheltered by the strongest man in the world. In this way, the mermaids on the island will not be targeted by so many human traffickers. Here, I'll leave her to you. I have to save Ace. I'm afraid I'll have to. You know. Yuri pursed his lips in the direction of Hancock. Ah, let me deal with her. Jinbei was shocked. No. Mr. Yuri, this can't be done. Why not? Yuri is puzzled. You are a fishman and you are very familiar with the Emperor of Snake Island. Besides, it makes sense for Shichibukai to fight Shichibukai. She is Hancock. Jinbei was very anxious. Quote? I know he is Hancock. I also know that he is the Emperor of Nine Snake Island. So what? Do you still want to save Ace? Yuri moved Ace out, and Jinbei suddenly became confused. But he still acted stubbornly in the end. That's not possible, let's attack her. While the two were entangled, Hancock moved. Walking towards this direction with a pace that confuses all sentient beings. 2.8. Then, he glanced at Jinbei, who was standing still, and lightly opened his lips. Get out. Jinbei was still relieved and immediately felt relaxed. Okay. Master Hancock. ? What's the situation? Jinbei, you are such a great captain of the Sun Pirates. 7 warlords of the sea. If I tell you to go away, will you go away obediently? Also, what does it mean when you call her Master Hancock? You, the Fishmen Island, were conquered by Nine Snake Island. Yuri is at a loss now. After being imprisoned for 36 years, the world seems a little different. The development in front of me seems to be that of Boa Hancock, and his identity does not seem simple. Could it be that she is also a time traveler? Perhaps seeing Yuri's doubts, Jinbei glanced aside at Hancock, who had regained his coolness, and whispered, Mr. Yuri, don't you know? ? What should I know? Yuri became more and more confused. It seems that Mr. Yuri, you really don't know. No wonder. After all, you have been imprisoned in Impel Down for 36 years. Jinbei then remembered that Yuri had just been released from prison. He looks young, but in fact he is just immortal. Then, he planned to explain it to Yuri. After all, she is the adult. Mr. Yuri, you think the Empress name is Boa Hancock. Actually, his name is Saint Boa Hancock. Chapter 43 Distorted History. Boa Hancock Saint. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Boa Hancock Saint. Which saint? Suddenly, Yuri realized that in this world, only the celestial dragons could add the word, holy, to their names. Empress, become celestial dragons. I go, what is happening in this world? Jinbei, you should know that the I family doesn't like hearing this name. Hancock raised his chin slightly, his eyes aloof. Sorry, Lord Hancock. Jinbei apologized immediately, took Yuri aside and whispered, Mr. Yuri, I'm very sorry. There is a reason why I can't fight with Mr. Hancock. At this time, Yuri's mind was filled with what was going on. Even if Hancock became celestial dragons for unknown reasons, it has nothing to do with you, Jinbei. Why do the dignified 7 warlords of the sea respect Hancock, who is also a Shichibukai, so much, and why can't they take action? It makes no sense. Seems to see Yuri's doubts. Jinbei glanced at Hancock again, and after realizing that she didn't stop him, he whispered about her life experience. Boa Hancock. Born in the Amazon Kingdom on Nine Snake Island. Because the island is full of women, and they are young and beautiful, they are favored by human traffickers. Hancock, and his 2 sisters, were captured when they were very young and sold to the celestial dragons as slaves. This world. All slaves to the celestial dragons. They will all have the mark of 9 sky-soaring dragons' hoof, printed on their backs. Hancock is not surprised either. Moreover, because of her amazing appearance, she was fed the sweet fruit of Paramesha by the celestial dragons, preparing to train her into a cathartic pet. Suddenly one day, Granny Twisted breaks into the holy land of Mariejois alone. No one knows what she did, and no one knows what she said. Among the celestial dragons, the most powerful patriarch of the Fegaland family personally taught the celestial dragons family that used Hancock as a slave. And took Hancock home and recognized him as his daughter. Named Saint Boa Hancock. In this world, ordinary people can become celestial dragons. For 800 years, countless top nobles from the participating countries have wanted to become celestial dragons throughout their lives and enjoy countless power, glory and wealth. But no one has ever succeeded. Now, a slave turned into a celestial dragons, and the news spread throughout the sea in an instant. Everyone was shocked. Everyone wants to know what happened. Finally, after various inquiries from these top big shots, they found out the reason. On the day I twisted my mother-in-law, I only said one sentence. Hancock, she is the fiancé I chose for that person. Granny Twisted didn't mention that person's name. But just this sentence made the head of the top family of celestial dragons personally save it. Let a slave cross countless levels and become a celestial dragons that no one has ever succeeded before. The power can be seen as a Madara. But Hancock hates celestial dragons. I also hate the name, Boa Hancock Saint. But she can't leave. In the Holy Land, apart from training hard every day to become stronger, I was thinking about how to leave. Finally, the opportunity has come. A fish man named Tiger climbed over the thousands-meter high red line and came to the Holy Land of Mariejois. With Hancock's help, he successfully helped countless slaves escape from the Holy Land. Taking this opportunity, Hancock also successfully left the Fegaland family. Advertisement. Therefore, Hancock became the savior of this group of slaves. They called her Lord Hancock. Among them are all the members of the Fishman Pirates. This is why Jinbei respects her so much. I see. After hearing this, Yuri smiled bitterly and shook his head. It turns out that all of this is inextricably related to his words. He remembered what Granny Ni had said as a joke to him. Unexpectedly, Granny Twisted took it seriously all the time. Even if his life or death is unknown, he is still persevering. As for Fegaland, he guessed that it should be the guy named Fegaland Garen Sheng. In the Valley of Gods, he gave the opponent a knife. Because he thought that the other party wanted to kill the red-haired baby. Now, everything is connected. He was in the Valley of the Gods, putting the two babies into the devil fruit box. One is Buggy. One is a redhead. Fegaland did not intend to attack the red-haired baby, but intended to save his son from him, but was chopped down by him. Later, Roger and Garp won. Roger gets 2 devil fruit crates as loot. Unexpectedly, there were 2 little guys inside. So, he kept the 2 of them by his side until they reached the final island. Think about it now. It was Fegaland who saw that Yuri saved his son. In addition, Garp and Roger had not yet arrived for support, so for the sake of their son's safety, they planned to leave him at Yuri's place temporarily. He saved his son's life. Therefore, he saved Hancock District 1, who was identified by Granny Twisted as his wife. Tisk tisk. It's really complicated. Yuri sighed. Things really are unpredictable. He was a time traveler who did very little and could have such a huge impact on Hancock. Who knows if there are other changes in the world? Mr. Yuri. Jinbei saw Yuri smacking his lips and thought he was dismissive, so he immediately said again, Mr. Yuri. I suggest you never fight with Mr. Hancock. Although she does not recognize her identity as a celestial dragons, this is already a fact. Once she is hurt, Marine 3 Admiral will attack you with all her strength. Celestial dragons identity revered. They are still the top group among the 20 major families of celestial dragons. Whenever Hancock loses a hair, he will surely suffer the wrath of thunder. Ha! Jinbei. So, this is a good thing. Yuri's eyes lit up. As long as I hold San Admiral back, you can take the opportunity to rescue Ace. Jinbei shook his head. Mr. Yuri, I have no doubt that you can hold back 3 admirals. It's not Sansonyan that I'm worried about for you. Master Hancock, she is that man's fiancé. That person even though no one knows who he is. But if you think about it, the top family patriarch among the celestial dragons, who is more powerful than the 5 elders, can take action himself. Either its status, which is so high that it's boundless. Either, the strength is so terrifying that no one can defeat it. Mr. Yuri, be careful. Jinbei is anxious, he really cares about Yuri. After all, Yuri can be said to have saved them many times along the way. Ha! Yuri was happy. Advertisement. What Jinbei said is too exaggerated. What an infinitely high status. What kind of power is so terrifying that no one can match it? He was a little embarrassed by the praise. That, yes. Isn't it too exaggerated? Perhaps that person's status and strength are similar to mine. Yuri joked with a smile. How can that be the same? Mr. Yuri, you have been locked up in a cell for 36 years. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you in any way. But with that person's status and strength, it's impossible for him to be imprisoned in Impel Down Prison. Jinbei explained seriously. Yuri wasn't going to ask any more. When asked again, he was afraid of himself and embarrassed to laugh. However, it is really nice to be praised in person by a strong, honest and world-famous person. Seeing that Yuri didn't speak, Jinbei thought that he understood the price of provoking Hancock, so he pulled him and planned to leave. At this moment, Hancock once again walked towards this place with steps that would confound all sentient beings. When he came to the two of them, he looked down at Jinbei from a high position and said one word again, "Get out." Jinbei hesitated to speak, but he was still a match for Sin. He had no choice but to face the great benefactor who had saved countless tribesmen. No matter how rude he was, he knew he had no ill intentions. Then, Hancock looked at Yuri. This time, she didn't look down and be condescending. Just like that, looking straight into Yuri's eyes, I asked Zhu Yuan, "Isn't Shen beautiful? Will you treat me?" Although the sound is clear, it travels very far. The Marines, pirates, Crocodile, Doflamingo, Big Bear, Ivankov and others who were fighting nearby all stopped and looked here. It shows up. Master Hancock's trick. All Marines, Luo Tien exclaimed. Boa Hancock Saint. He is the one with the ability to eat the world's only twin devil fruit, sweet fruit. People with the ability of this fruit are not only extremely beautiful in appearance, but also have an unparalleled temperament, and they also release their charm to the outside world all the time. Once someone falls in love with her, she can easily turn the opponent to stone. The length of time for petrification depends on Hancock's mood. If she is unhappy, she can even petrify this person for the rest of her life. And her special skill is this questioning move. However, no one noticed that Hancock asked before, "Is Igia beautiful? Are you tempted?" This time it was about, "I am beautiful, will you be moved by me?" The difference between a few words, the meaning and the emotion expressed are completely different. If the adults take action, the guy named Yuri will be dead. That's right. Master Hancock's ability. No matter how strong you are, you will be petrified if you are tempted. That's the most beautiful woman in the world, Lord Hancock. Is there anyone in the world who wouldn't be tempted by her? Even women can. As expected of Lord Celestial Dragon's Hancock. Hush. You want to die. Lord Hancock doesn't like this identity. Everyone is looking forward to it. As long as Yuri answers, he will definitely die. What? Are you saying you won't answer? How can people who dare not look directly into their hearts use their full strength? I feel hesitant and weak. Then this time, Marine headquarters will be his burial place. Yuri stood quietly. He looked at Hancock, who was less than 2 meters away in front of him, to hit the stage. At this moment, he finally knew why there was such a name as fairy in the world. Because there are really people who can be beautiful, unlike the people in this world. No one can help but be moved by such a person. He, Yuri, is neither a heartless creature nor an emotional idiot. Advertisement. He admitted that he was really moved. So, he smiled and said, "Yes." As soon as these words came out, the surroundings were filled with joy. Ho, he can. He admitted it. All I know is that there is no one in the world who can't help but be tempted by Lord Hancock, even if he can destroy the world. Demon. I didn't expect it. It was so easy to capture this Yuri, as expected of Lord Hancock. Long live Lord Hancock. I will give birth to you. Someone is excited about 683 Ultimate. But before he finished speaking, the man had turned into stone. Only then did everyone realize the horror and hurriedly shut up. At the same time, look in the direction of Yuri, waiting for Hancock to completely petrify him. No idea. After learning this conclusion, the Empress smiled. This was the rare smile she had in her life. The smile is beautiful. There is no equal in the world. Suddenly, there was a series of people around them who were turned to stone one after another. The Empress didn't care. She spoke with a bright smile. I know your thoughts. I will always be waiting for you to come back. After speaking, get out of the way. Yuri smiled at the Empress. He didn't say anything, and now was not the time to say anything. Take a step forward. Ahead is a smooth road. Hey, Hancock, what are you doing? Yes, he is an enemy, why not kill him? Marine asked. The Empress' face suddenly turned cold. He raised his slender thigh and kicked it, instantly turning the talkative person to stone. The Igia act, do you need to talk more? Surrounded by Marine, horror escapes. The pirates, on the other hand, let out excited shouts and ran towards the passage that the Empress left. At this time, the Empress took action again and petrified all the pirates here. The road Igia gave way to is for you to take. Hancock is fierce and can be seen as a Madara. In an instant, everyone around him, whether they were Marines or pirates, all took a detour. Even the 6 Oscars who were fighting nearby quietly moved the battlefield. Beautiful women cannot be offended. A beautiful and well-established woman is even more untouchable. A woman who is beautiful, has status, and has super strength, absolutely cannot tolerate this. Moreover, he also has a fiancé who makes even the world's top dignitaries surrender. That is a top-level existence that even Garp Sengoku can command at will. Yuri, keep going. 7 warlords of the sea have all been resolved. At this time, there was less than half the distance to the execution platform. Not far in front of him was the mindless and unhappy combination of Luffy and Luo. This is the nickname given to the two by Yuri. Luffy has no brain, he only knows how to be reckless, which is called brainless. Although Luo is smart, if he keeps a sad face all day long, he is unhappy. These two are a perfect match. In fact, this is indeed the case. The two pushed forward very quickly, even better than Yuri. But, now the two have a problem. The existence that once forced all the supernovas into despair in the Sabayati archipelago is standing quietly in front. In the hands, yellow ons gather. Chapter 44. Use me for human experiments and create this thing. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Phew. A powerful laser beam was fired from the palm of a huge figure, bombing Luffy and Luo indiscriminately. That's right. The person standing in front of them was not someone. Instead, the marine scientific warhead, the research result from Vegapunk, is the pacifist PXF-1 made from a replica system based on Bartholomew Big Bear of 7 warlords of the sea. Every pacifist has the strength to surpass hundreds of millions of bounty pirates. It takes 2 supernova-level experts to join forces to barely be able to deal with one. During the Sabayati archipelago, the pacifists, led by Daisen Momomaru, chased several supernova pirates, causing them to flee in confusion. Now, they are here again. Damn it. It's this giant robot again. Luffy thought of the Sabayati archipelago. With his strength, it was basically impossible to deal with one-on-one. They went through a lot of trouble to get here by bypassing Shichibukai's defensive area. Unexpectedly, this is the defense line of pacifists. Straw Hat Master, let's practice. Luo's expression is also ugly. Room. Luo activated his fruit power, and a huge blue light shield enveloped the surrounding area for more than 10 meters, completely enveloping the pacifist. Slaughterhouse. As his fingers changed, the giant Yamato was suddenly lifted into the air and lost his balance. The Straw Hat Master is now. Luo gritted his teeth and shouted. With his current strength, he would not be able to hold on for long if he could lift a pacifist weighing dozens of tons. Roar. Know it. Yeah. Third gear. Facing pacifists, the ordinary first and second gears are useless. Only the third level of attack power can barely break through the defense. Luffy did not dare to be careless and used the most powerful attack move today, Rubber Giant Pistol. I saw Luffy put the thumb of his right hand into his mouth, took a deep breath and blew in suddenly. Suddenly, his entire right hand expanded like a balloon at a speed visible to the naked eye. In the blink of an eye, it turned into a huge fist of more than 10 meters. As Luffy waved, the fist hit the immobile pacifist Wolf in the air ahead. Pacifists will naturally not sit still and wait for death. Unfortunately, Luo controlled him in the air and could not move. He could only store lasers in his mouth and fire them at Luffy. But the speed is too slow. Before the stimulation and gathering could be completed, Luffy's fist had arrived. Boom. The powerful attack instantly knocked the pacifist away more than 10 meters. He smashed a huge deep hole into the ground, with electric sparks all over his body, and he lay motionless inside. Ha! It's solved. A super little Luffy said cutely. Unexpectedly, our first cooperation was surprisingly good. Luo Yi said with a smile, in that case, go ahead and rescue your brother Ace. I won't let you pass. Straw Hat Boy Luffy. Death Shell Dr. Luo. The two men turned back suddenly. Behind them, a huge, stocky young man wearing belly shorts and carrying a huge axe was staring at them with cold eyes. PX1. Attack. Quote. Phew. 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 Behind him, dozens of giant figures had intense lasers converging in their hands or mouths. See here. Luo's eyes suddenly widened. Take the super little Luffy, dodge quickly, and run away like crazy. Joke. A pacifist made the two of them try their best. There are dozens of them here. Dozens of yellow lasers were fired from the mouths and hands of the pacifists. Every attack can trigger a huge roaring explosion. The nearby pirates suffered heavy casualties and stopped moving forward. After the 7 warlords of the sea, a dozen pacifists, led by Zon Momomaru, formed a second defensive front. They have become a nightmare for pirates. Damn it. How can you fight like this? It's such a thick skin, but you still have a layer of steel, so you can't cut it. Everyone, be careful. Their palms can also bounce people away. This is the ability of Bartholomew Bear. Is it the 7 warlords of the sea, the tyrant bear? What should I do? Now the captains are facing off against the 3 marine admirals and the elite vice admirals. Although they are quite powerful, with at least tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of bounties, facing dozens of pacifists is like facing dozens of big pirates with a bounty of around 300 million. There was nothing that could be done for the moment. The advance of the front was suspended. Advertisement. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it W. What should we do? The execution time is coming soon. We must rescue Ace as soon as possible. Luffy has recovered to his original state and is breathing heavily at the moment, looking at Ace on the execution platform with great anxiety. Straw Hat Boss, don't worry. At this time, we need to be calmer. Although Luo was a little anxious, he knew that it was useless to be anxious, and he was frantically thinking of ways at the moment. Suddenly, he saw a familiar figure coming from the way. This terrifying existence almost destroyed the entire marine headquarters. For a moment, Luo was hesitant and frightened. He was wondering whether to ask Yuri for help. But what if Yuri hits another meteorite? While hesitating, he suddenly heard a surprised voice coming from beside him. Ah, it's Yuri. You came just in time. Help us quickly. Luffy didn't care. The moment he saw Yuri, he directly asked for help. Luo wanted to say something more, but in the end he chose not to speak. What could he say? Could it be that, Yuri, why don't you be so fierce? What if you break Marineford to pieces and kill us all? There is something obviously wrong with this. Yo. Luffy. Luo. You two are very motivated. Have you all come here? Yuri came to the two of them, glanced at the pacifist lying on the ground not far away and emitting black smoke, and praised. Not bad. You can even knock down the pacifist, your strength has improved a lot. Actually, Yuri is also curious about the technology of this world. In an era when most people were still using flintlock guns, someone actually developed such a terrifying combat weapon. It uses electric energy as its driving force, steel as its body, bear fruit as its defense, and Admiral Kizaru's ability as its offensive weapon. The most important thing is that it is suspected of having a rudimentary artificial intelligence that can automatically identify ourselves and the enemy. Powerful, efficient, terrifying, a complete killing weapon. But he was called a pacifist. But This is not the most critical point Yuri is curious about pacifists. What he was most curious about was that he had heard the name pacifist when he was being experimented on. That is to say, the technology obtained from his human experiments was used in the development and manufacturing of pacifists. He was curious about what abilities world government had acquired in him. Here. Give way. Yuri told Luffy and Luo to stay away, and then with this curiosity, he walked towards the pacifists who were bombarding ahead. Hey, Yuri, you, be careful. Luo finally spoke. What? Luo, what are you talking about? With Yuri's strength, the company was injured. He is super strong. Luffy curled his lips and mocked Luo. That's not what I meant. Luo's forehead had a crosshair symbol popping up, and he knew Luffy had misinterpreted what he meant. He wanted Luo to take it easy. What if Marineford was destroyed? Slightly. That's what you mean. With Yuri taking action, Luffy felt relieved. He stuck out his tongue at Luo playfully. Hello. That's not what I really meant. Luo felt a headache and just felt like Luffy was like a childish child. You are. I'm not. That is. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. Ah. No. Yes. You said so yourself. Ahead, listening to the bickering between Luffy and Luo behind him, a smile appeared on Yuri's lips. I remember when he was in Rock's Pirate, he would often get into trouble with Kaido. Advertisement. After all, Kaido often has the face of a mother who suffers a lot and has deep hatred. Thinking of Kaido, he just thought of that beautiful big sister who loved him and Kaido very much. Charlotte Linlin. When I think of Linlin, I think of the fat ant in the original novel. Yuri couldn't help but shudder. When Sister Linlin returns, we must let her lose weight. Beautiful Sister Linlin is called Sister Linlin. As for this now, it's just because of Mom. As for Kaido, it seems like he has a beautiful daughter. As Yuri walked, he thought about what would happen next. Suddenly, a cold voice came from ahead, interrupting his thoughts. Hello, pirate. Forbidden area ahead. No forward movement allowed. Roll. Moment. The beautiful Sister Linlin disappeared. Kaido's lovely daughter is gone too. Ha. Yuri looked up. In front, Zon Taoan stood proudly. Behind him, dozens of pacifists stood ready to go. Speaking of Zon Taomaru, he is also a poor child. However, after gaining strength, he still maintained his original intention and did not like killing. Therefore, he kindly reminded Yuri not to move forward. After all, pacifists are just human-shaped killing weapons, and they don't know how to hold back. Beltband man. I heard that I have a share of credit for the successful development of the pacifist. Is that true? Yuri was curious. Pacifist was developed by Mr. Vegapunk. Why do you want to give you a pirate? Go. Looking at how young you are, just stay alone. Zon Taomaru still had no intention of taking action. He just wanted to end the battle as soon as possible and resume the sleep he had not finished 5 minutes ago. It's none of my business. I thought the pacifist would use my Rocks D Yuri ability. Yuri scratched his head. He felt that he was a little too sentimental. Since it has nothing to do with me and is nothing more than a pile of scrap metal, destroy it. What? Rocks D Yuri. I seem to have heard this name from the old man. Is it the Pacifist PX2? Or the Seraph series? Or the ultimate human weapon? Zon Taoan was injured when he was a child and his brain was not very good. For a moment, I just felt that the name was familiar, but I couldn't remember who it was. Hello, pirate. You. Zon Taomaru was about to ask when he suddenly saw a gold coin being thrown out of Yuri's hand opposite him. Then, the surrounding magnetism twisted and electricity surged. Moment. He remembered something. Magnetic force. Electricity. And that calendar area that destroys the world. I remembered it. Are you the prototype? Zon Taomaru's eyes widened and he hurriedly ordered. All PX1, attack. Behind him, the mouths of dozens of pacifists began to shine with yellow light. See this. Zon Taomaru breathed a sigh of relief. Suddenly, he saw the gold coin falling in the air ahead. With a smile on his face, Yuri flicked his lips and said, Super Railgun. Boom. But I saw infinite magnetism and electricity, gathering crazily. Following this tiny gold coin, boundless energy rolled up and surged crazily forward. Phew. Advertisement. Phew. Phew. Dozens of yellow rays of light shot towards the gold coins in the air. However, before it could get closer, the flight trajectory had changed, and all attacks failed. Magnetic force can twist bent light cord. Pacifists also want to launch a second wave of attacks. But at this time, the gold coins have arrived. The violent magnetic force swept across and involved all pacifists. Then, the endless electric bombardment instantly destroyed the energy system in their bodies. Boom. Boom. As energy is destroyed, violent explosions followed one after another. Dozens of pacifists, comparable to supernovas, were destroyed by Yuri in just an instant. A huge roar spread throughout the battlefield, and everyone looked over. Gu la la la. Yuri is impatient. In this case, I can't fall too far behind. Whitebeard's attack became more and more violent. Ahem. This guy. Sure enough, you should weaken your combat effectiveness before the war begins. Even though Akainu is very strong, he still got hit twice by Whitebeard, who was not injured. But, Wang Li Jiao, he is Akainu. It's Admiral of Headquarters. Be a defender of justice in the world. Once an enemy is targeted, he will bite him like a hunting dog. Whitebeard, your time has passed. Go to hell. Dark Hound. The two of them fought fiercely again. This time, the two of them broke out with all their strength, and no one held back. Either you die or I die. For the goals and justice in their hearts. Sharp. Yuri, you are really awesome. Seeing the extremely difficult pacifist being destroyed in an instant, Luffy laughed excitedly. Fortunately, nothing happened. Luo also breathed a sigh of relief. So far so good. The electromagnetic gun was also very powerful, blowing up less than half of the square, but it was not as exaggerated as destroying the island. Ha, Luo. What do you mean? You think something will happen to Yuri? And you said you didn't look down on him. Luffy seemed to have found a handle, panting and chasing the victory. Hello. I don't. That was not what I meant. Luo is going crazy and wants to strangle Luffy to death. You have. I don't. Have. No. Ah. That's not the case. Humph. There wasn't one in the first place. Damn it. Why didn't you fall for it this time? You think I am you? Looking at a pile of junk not far away, Yuri clapped his hands. He was very satisfied with the effect of his attack. But, he was not happy with what Marine did. Yes. After decades of human experimentation using lousy, these crappy gadgets were developed. So he shouted to Sengoku, who was on the execution platform not far away. Hello, Sengoku. You Marine and world government. Use me for human testing and create something like this. Chapter 45. At this moment, I am the world. Universal pull. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Hello. Sengoku. You Marine and world government. Use my power to create these things. Yuri's words were very soft, but they spread throughout the battlefield. Everyone looked at him. After all, he is a very important person now. Even Whitebeard, the strongest man in the world, seems to want to be his crew member. And Marine Marshal Sengoku also admitted it. This man, who had been imprisoned in Impel Down for decades, was taken away for human experimentation almost every year. At this moment, everyone knew that the pacifist who was just launched this year and was displayed in the Sabayati archipelago, Kamui, and suppressed the 13 supernovas, was actually the product of Yuri's human experiment. But it's a pity. These pirated goods are simply vulnerable to their legitimate owners. With just one move, dozens of machines were instantly killed. It became a pile of scrap copper and iron that kept emitting electric sparks. Sengoku looked ugly when he was ridiculed by the enemy, coming from the enemy they had to defeat. Not waiting for him to speak. Not far away, Zon Taomaru, who was affected by the battle and temporarily incapacitated, roared angrily. Hateful. You actually ruined the hard work of so many old men. Do you know how much money, time and energy it takes to create these pacifists? You guy. Zon Momomaru stared at Yuri, his chest heaving and breathing heavily. He is extremely angry now. At this time, the pacifists were eliminated, the second defensive line was breached, and the pirates swarmed in again. When they heard this, they laughed crazily. Ha ha ha, I'm so anxious. How much does this pile of junk cost? Is it worth a gold coin? Mention gold coins. Zon Momoan remembered the one that Yuri had just thrown away from his hand. Just one gold coin destroyed the pacifist secret that his men had spent hundreds of billions of belly building. At this time, only then did he realize how terrifying this man named Yuri was. No wonder. The old man and the 5 elders will use him as the main body to create that thing. Zon Taoan murmured to himself. Then he glanced at the broken limbs of the pacifists not far away, with a look of reluctance on his face. Hateful. This is an important tool used by the old man to achieve world peace. How could it be destroyed here, in the hands of this person? Never allowed. Snort. Who says pacifists can't be good? Originally, I planned to use the slightly gentler pacifist PX1 to save you from dying. Since you insist on seeking death, then feel the despair. Come out. Pacifist PX2. Zon Taoan stood up again, stood in front of the pirates who were planning to move past him, and spoke decisively. Following his instructions, in the building complex hundreds of meters away behind him, 6 pacifists who were almost the same as PX1 walked out with vigorous steps. Of course, you can still see some differences. Compared with PX1, its body shape is smaller and more streamlined, and its steps are much faster than PX1. PX2. What the hell? No matter. There's still some distance before these ghosts arrive, let's rush first. That's right. Rescue Ace quickly. Execution time is coming soon. Come on. The pirates decided to ignore these so-called PX2s and continued to rush forward past Zon Momomaru, who was unable to move. PX2, kill them. Zon Taoan roared out the order. Haha, it's still hundreds of meters away from us, what can we do? The pirate taunted. Suddenly, they saw. The pacifist PX2 several hundred meters away unexpectedly rose into the air and flew towards this side. While still in the air, it started firing lasers from its palms and mouth. Compared with the PX1, a laser that requires charging, the speed is greatly improved. Only the sound of boom, 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 boom was heard continuously, and horrific explosions occurred on the ground. Damn it! It can also fly. Hiss. The attack speed is so fast. What a fool. You underestimated these tin cans. Advertisement. Brothers, hide for now. We are no match. Leave it to the captains. Running away if you can't fight is a fine tradition that everyone needs to learn. After all, you are not the protagonist, and you don't know how to do sit-ups. Dead. That's true. Yeah. Third gear. Rubber giant pistol. Anyone could run, but Luffy wouldn't. He moved against the pirates and used his strongest blow towards one of the pacifists who landed on the ground. Room. Slaughterhouse. Luo's attack also followed closely behind. The two once again played the same wonderful coordination as before. A pacifist body was thrown into the air by Luo, followed closely by Luffy's giant fist. But this time it's different. I saw a strange fluctuation in the pacifist in the air, and then he broke away from Luo's control and moved freely. Nani. Luo was shocked and didn't know what was going on. But he knew that now was not the time to attack. Hey. Straw Hat Master, get back quickly. Impossible. I'm going to blow all these things away and rescue Ace. Luffy ignored it and still attacked. Boom. ABBH. Giant pistol, accurate for hitting pacifists. But, to everyone's surprise, there seemed to be a barrier between Luffy's fist and the pacifist, and it didn't hit the main body at all, causing any damage. How is this going? A smaller version of Luffy, with a confused face. Luo also frowned, grabbed Luffy and ran away. Don't worry about so much for now, run quickly. These things are weird. Just a fight. Luo discovered that these PX2s, which seemed to be smaller in size, were much better than PX1. Not only does it move and attack faster, but it can also fly briefly. Moreover, there seems to be something on the surface that can defend against their attacks. What on earth is this? Ah. No. Luffy was on Luo's shoulder, looking at the pursuing pacifists, shaking his legs crazily. Ah. Let me go. I'm going to save Ace. At this moment, several figures passed by Luo and Luffy. Hey, boys, let's leave it to us. It's Ivankov, Jinbei and Crocodile who are here. It turned out that several captains of the White Regiment arrived in time and helped them hold down several seven warlords of the sea, so that they could escape and come for support. Mr. Luffy. Mr. Luo. Leave it to us. Jinbei jumped up and struck at the pursuing pacifist, Human Karate Akara Soa Shoken. This move. It's a right fist move. You can face forward and launch a 360-degree attack with no blind spots. With Jinbei's terrifying power, he can easily defeat a tall building. The terrifying shock wave rolled up a layer of ground and blasted towards the three pacifists. Bingo! Ivankov exclaimed. However, what surprised them was that there seemed to be a membrane on the pacifist's body that blocked Jinbei's huge power. No. To be precise, it was removed. Everyone saw clearly this time. A layer of something like a force field appeared on the pacifist's body, disappearing and disappearing. Jinbei's powerful attack only managed to level the 6 pacifists. Didn't cause any harm at all. Nani? What's this? Ivankov, Jinbei, Crocodile, Tomo exclaimed. They have never seen such a thing. Death wink. Desert sword. Ivankov and Crocodile did not believe in evil and took action themselves. The result was exactly the same as Jinbei's time. Ha ha ha, it's useless. PX2 is equipped with the most advanced technology in the world. This is super black technology from the ancient kingdom. Even if you are Shichibukai, you won't be able to defeat them in a short time. Resign yourself to your fate. This is the king of power of technology. Advertisement. This is the ultimate power that can end troubled times and achieve peace. Not far away, Zon Taoan shouted excitedly. Galaxy Wink. 5,000-piece karate. Desert Diamond Sword. Ivankov, Jinbei, and Crocodile continued to attack without belief. The three of us are all strong men with a well-known reputation. How is it possible that we can't deal with a mere tin can? The reality is very cruel. The attack by the three of them really has no way to deal with these pacifists. No. To be precise, it worked. The protective film on the pacifist's body has obviously dimmed a lot. There was another attack that successfully broke through the defensive membrane and injured the body of one machine. But, to everyone's surprise, what flowed out from inside was actually bright red blood. Blood. Why is there blood? What's going on? Are they not robots, but humans? Everyone looked at these three pacifist PX2s and were completely confused. No, it's a robot. At this time, Yuri came over and started to preach. He has been observing the 6 pacifists since they came out. After all, this thing does not appear in the original work. After observing these attacks, he found that there was an extremely familiar power in these and on his body. Magnetic force. There is only magnetism that fills the entire planet. Only then can a stable electromagnetic force field be formed to deflect and defend against all attacks. After all, magnetism is everywhere. Electromagnetic force is one of the 4 fundamental forces of the universe. What a coincidence. His devil fruit ability can also release electromagnetic force. Although it is less powerful than the genuine magnetic fruit and thunder fruit, it is there. Now, there was actually blood on the pacifist's body. This gave him a bold guess. However, this guess still needs to be verified by him. Not human. Then why do they have blood? Master Yuri, what are they? Luo dragged little Luffy over and asked with a frown. What is it? Catch one and come over and take a look and you'll know. After saying that, Yuri swayed and walked quickly towards the pacifist. Phew. The reaction of PX2 is obvious. Much faster than PX1, it quickly launched a beam strike at Yuri. But, Yuri quickly dodged them all. Only on the way forward, there were clusters of violent explosions. In the blink of an eye, Yuri had arrived in front of the pacifists, reaching out and grabbing one of them on the face. Ha ha ha, it's useless. Your attack can't break through PX2's defense at all. Zon Momomaru taunted. But what surprised everyone was Yuri's hand easily broke through the protective film and smoothly pressed onto the face of a pacifist. Then, press down hard. Boom. With one palm, he knocked the pacifist to the ground. The powerful impact instantly knocked out a deep pit several meters wide on the ground, and smoke and dust billowed. Phew. 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 Naturally, the remaining pacifists would not be idle and took this opportunity to launch an attack towards the smoky pit. But when the smoke dissipated, the pit became larger. But Yuri, and the bodies of the pacifists have disappeared. Not far away, Yuri looked at the pacifists who had been dismembered, and showed a clear expression. Sure enough. Advertisement. Sure enough. Times 5 inches. Really? Sure enough. You actually said it. Times 5 inches. Sure enough. I'm really strong. Ha 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 ha. Quote question mark question mark question mark. Times 5 inches. Seeing how many people wanted Hongwen but didn't dare, Yuri decided not to tease them. My guess is correct. These 3 pacifists are powered by my blood. Quote question mark question mark question mark. X4. Only Luo was thoughtful. Master Yuri, do you mean that the membrane that protects against all attacks has something to do with you? Yuri looked at Luo appreciatively. This little kid is calm and smart, and would be a good reserve member of the Rocks team. Good. They can fly because of magnetism. And this extremely defensive membrane is the protective force field formed by electromagnetic force. Only attacks that can also control electricity or magnetism, and high-level armament hockey can break through extremely quickly. Of course, there is no problem with a strong enough force or continuous attacks. After all, this thing is only the ability of part of his blood, and its strength and durability are not very strong. Even so, it's surprising enough. A mere mechanical creation that can be copied can actually fight Shichibukai for a short period of time, with the level of strength of Rokuko. What is this concept? If world government can mass produce it, why does it need Shichibukai? The other people also thought of this and were immediately horrified. Fortunately, this thing seems to use Yuri's blood as its energy core. World government, there must not be much of it, right? Ivankov is worried. If this thing is really productive, what else will the Revolutionary Army use to fight it? Can't beat it. ... Yuri shook his head silently. After being in prison for so many years, they had no idea how much blood they had drawn from themselves. He didn't say this. After all, it is not a glorious thing, and besides, what should I do if I scare them? In this case, Mr. Yuri, these pacifists are still going to trouble you. Jinbei asked Yuri to take action while trying to save Ace. No problem. Yuri didn't object. Among these people, he was the only one who could easily deal with these pacifists. And, even if Jinbei doesn't ask, he will take action. Who is so willing to let others use their own power? Still, use this genuine version against him. If he sees this kind of thing once, he will destroy it once. Snort. Rocks D. Yuri. I admit, you are very strong. But, if I can't beat you, why can't I run away? I want to see if other pirates are as powerful as you. Fighting Tauwen, the wasteland is cold. Immediately, the remaining 5 pacifists began to take off and fly towards other battlefields. The expressions of several people suddenly changed. Elsewhere, the captains were engaged in an evenly matched battle. If a powerful robot suddenly launches a surprise attack at this time, the result will be, oh, want to run in front of me? Yuri closed his eyes and sensed all directions. This time, it's not induced magnetism. Because the Wadai pacifists have electromagnetic force field shields on them. His remote magnetism and electricity are basically ineffective against them. This time, what he felt was gravity. Moreover, he has already felt that the planet's gravity is responding to him. Suddenly, he opened his eyes. In the frightened eyes of several people around, who seemed to be summoning the meteorite again, a few pacifists stretched out their arms. Now, I am the world. Everything in the world is under my control. Universal pull. Chapter 46. This lazy uncle, join our pirate group. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Universal pull. Okay, it's not the Tengai Shinsei trick from before. Luo and Ivankov breathed a sigh of relief. The Marines and pirates who were watching the battle looked at each other and couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief at the same time. Really, Tengai Shinsei's move is too scary. It takes 3 admirals to work together to stop one. Damn it, this guy can summon 3. Every drop of one can make Marineford disappear completely. How much does he want to destroy Marineford? Fortunately, this move now only looks a bit similar in the starting position. They all closed their eyes, stretched out their arms to embrace the sky, and slowly moved their bodies. But the move names are different. Universal Pull, I guess it is a small skill that is not worth mentioning. Devil Fruit's abilities need to be developed. Although Yuri ate Devil Fruit, it lasted 36 years. But if you give him enough time to practice, it's less than a day. He had also thought about how to deal with these pacifist PX2s, whose strength was comparable to that of the Six Sons. In Hockey's words, Wutai pacifists are flying all over the battlefield, which is very troublesome. If you use slashing, as long as you touch the sword, the Hawkeye guy will smell it and come. After all, using magnetism and electricity is just a basic ability derived from the fruit. It is not as powerful as the original version, and it cannot easily break the electromagnetic force field remotely. After reviewing the abilities I have, the gravity I just realized seems to be very suitable for long-range combat. As for the skill development of gravity, in his mind, that despairing, oppressive, and compelling figure instantly appeared in his mind. How many floors can a bag of rice carry? 1 bag of rice can carry 2 floors. It's you. Tiandao Pain. 10 meters above the ground. Yuri raised his head and opened his hands slightly. He felt that the gravity of the entire world was responding to his call. He has become the new source of gravity in this area. An invisible gravitational field quickly formed with him as the center. Then, he opened his eyes. In his eyes, there are stars surrounding him, and everything is ups and downs. He slowly stretched out his hand and aimed at the Wutai pacifists who were fleeing in all directions. Now, I am the world. Everything in the world is under my control. Universal Pull. In the palm of your hand, infinite gravity activates. The Wutai pacifist, who was already nearly 100 meters away, stopped in an instant. Then, in everyone's disbelieving eyes, as if controlled by something, it began to fly around Yuri in a circle. No matter how hard it struggled, it could not get rid of it. Every time you go around, you get closer to Yuri. Every time it gets closer, parts of the indestructible steel body begin to break like a toy. It doesn't take a moment. The pacifist PX2, whose strength was comparable to that of the Sixth Son and could briefly fight several strong Shichibukai warriors, was broken into a large amount of scrap metal, which circled Yuri for several meters and made a rotating motion. Now, Yuri is like a star. The broken body of the pacifist is the star ring. Huh, what ability is this? Crocodile frowned. Damn it. This move is so cool. Luffy's eyes lit up. Hey, as expected of Yuri boy. Ivankov raised his eyebrows. Advertisement. Huh, fortunately, it doesn't look too powerful. The tone. Yes, Mr. Yuri, it's a bit scary. Jinbei thought of those meteorites and nodded in agreement. But, no one noticed. The entire Marineford, and even the surrounding sea, began to stir slightly. Dust on the ground. Water droplets in the ocean. As if being summoned by something, it began to rise and spin. The center point is Yuri. Look, everyone, why are the rocks floating on the rocks? It's the same thing here. Ice cubes the size of a human head are also floating piece by piece. It's not good. The walls of my building here are starting to fall off. Hiss. Look, everyone, the meteorite sealed by the 3 admirals is also starting to move. Wait, why do I feel like the whole island is shaking? No, everyone, look at the sea outside. The ice and sea water are all floating. Who can tell me what happened? Finally, someone noticed this. From invisible dust, to distinct water droplets, to small rocks and small water masses, to large ice cubes, large areas of seawater, buildings on the island, and finally meteorites, this island, and the entire sea. Following the swirling trajectory of these items, everyone shifted their gaze. I saw the man floating 10 meters above the ground in the center of the battlefield, surrounded by stars. Rocks D. Yuri. F.K. I knew it. Luo suddenly realized, his eyes were splitting, from the railgun to the super / wave. Then to the Tengai Shinsei. Finally, now this universal pull. How can he have a move that is not aimed at destroying the world? Damn it. Damn it. Yuri. He's so handsome. Luffy's eyes were still shining, feeling that Yuri's handsomeness was boundless. Hey, Straw Hat Boy, now is not the time to be envious. Ivankov helplessly raised his forehead. Mr. Yuri is here again. Jinbei sighed helplessly. This guy. He has terrifying moves one after another. Crocodile expressed his appreciation. Naturally, few people around Yuri noticed such a big movement. In the distance, Akainu and Whitebeard are fighting passionately. Feel the movement of the entire island and stop attacking at the same time. Whitebeard looked at the god-like man with long flowing hair in the air, shook his head and smiled bitterly. Yuri is really a guy. He wants to destroy the island at every turn. He used to be very gentle. Hey hey hey. If this continues, this island will not look good. Akainu was so angry that he turned around and rushed towards Yuri to stop him. Hello. Lava boy. Your opponent is lousy. Whitebeard hammered the ground with his sword, and the earth cracked around him. Hateful. Then first kill the remnants of your era. Whitebeard. Akainu was furious, turned around and struck with a heavy magma fist. Whitebeard blocks with his knife. The two of them continued to fight together. The surrounding earth, which was shattered by the aftermath of the battle between the two, was affected by Yuri's gravity and began to fly into the air. In the distance, Kizaru, one of the three admirals, also noticed the situation on the island. In fact, it was difficult for him not to notice. Because his light also began to be affected by gravity and deflected many times, it won't work like this. With that said, his body turned into yellow light, and he turned into elements and flew towards Yuri. Kizaru Admiral. There was a cry of phoenix, and the blue firebird came. Bird Claw kicked Kizaru hard. Don't bother us, our father's friend. Boom. The cyan flame claw hit Kizaru hard. Advertisement. He was kicked out and a building collapsed. On the execution platform. Sengoku also felt the vibration of the steel beneath his feet. One screw comes out of the base, facing away. Following the direction of the screw's flight, Sengoku saw Yuri in the air, surrounded by everything, like a god or a demon. This guy. I knew he was very difficult to deal with. If this continues, the Marine headquarters will be destroyed. As he said that, he turned to look at Garp. Hey. Garp, stop him. Garp also knows that Yuri must be stopped. Otherwise, whoever finds this trick will destroy the entire island just like the previous trick of summoning meteorites. He cannot be allowed to continue. Just got up. Then he noticed that there was a line of blue ice on the ground of the square, rushing towards Yuri at an extremely fast speed. So, he breathed a sigh of relief and sat down again. Garp, is he okay? Ha ha ha, he is not weaker than my disciple. Pacifists guard the area. Of course, there are no pacifists anymore. Logically speaking, the pirates should take advantage of the opportunity to launch an offensive and break through here. However, there is no one around here for tens of meters. That's right, everyone. Whether you are a marine or a pirate, stay away from this place. Because here, there began to be an extremely huge pulling force, pulling their bodies and floating into the sky. If you don't leave, you will join the rotating world. This can't go on like this. Luo frowned and looked at the ground beneath Yuri, which began to break away from the island in large areas, with a solemn expression. If this continues, we will also be involved. We have to find a way to stop Yuri from becoming the master. That's right. As an ally, what Luo wants now is to stop Yuri. Zero, please give me flowers. Totalt. At this moment, Luffy, with his eyes still shining, looked at Yuri with great envy. Everyone is thinking of ways to stop him. Master Crocodile, you are the strongest among us. Would you like to give Master Yuri a shot? Luo cautiously suggested. Ah, that's right. That's right. Crocodile boy, go quickly. Ivankov nodded as he pecked at the rice, his speed was so fast. Mr. Shaw, I'm leaving it to you. Jinbei clasped his hands together and bowed. Crocodile glanced at several people with dead fish eyes. Huh. Get out. Joke. This guy Yuri has shown this kind of strength along the way. Go give him a shot now. What if he is offended and treated as an enemy? Lousy is a sand crocodile, not a stupid crocodile. Seeing that Crocodile didn't go, everyone sighed. At this time, there was a lazy voice outside. Ah la la. This little brother who is no longer young, could you please stop for a moment? Accompanied by sound. A slender, tall figure with curly hair parted in the middle and his hands in his pockets was formed by ice. Then, he looked up at the sky, exhaled a breath of cold air, and said with a serious expression, if this continues, I'm going to get angry. Come. One of the 3 admirals of the naval headquarters, a user with Logia frozen fruit ability, Aokiji, Kuzan. Advertisement. Seeing this figure, Luo and others breathed a sigh of relief. Everyone around him, whether they were Marines or pirates, seemed to have welcomed a savior. Ho! Kuzan Admiral is here. Kuzan Admiral, kill this guy. Kuzan Admiral, stop this devil, he wants to destroy Marineford again. Hey! That pirate named Yuri, you are dead. Marine, cheered. Marine Admiral, it's the world government. The highest combat power. It is the strongest shield and sword that protects world peace and upholds world justice. And Yuri. They are demons who are trying to destroy peace and destroy the world. It must be eliminated. No. Will something happen to Yuri? Previously, I was worried that Yuri's move would hurt him. Now because of the appearance of Marine Admiral, they are concerned about Yuri's safety again. That's Marine Admiral. This feeling. Such power. So good. So powerful. In the air, Yuri is immersed in Devil Fruit's abilities. The gravitational force around the body is getting stronger and stronger. The entire island began to tremble, and huge rocks broke off the ground and flew towards here. Behind them, the walls of the huge marine headquarters began to break away. Large blocks of buildings began to be surrounded by star rings. How wonderful. How about bringing all the islands and the entire world into the loop? Yuri thought like this. Suddenly, a voice came into his ears. Huh, who is calling me little brother? When did I become a little brother? Is this guy from Tomb Raider's notes or from Ghost blowing the lantern? My name is Yuri. Suddenly, Yuri seemed to have thought of something, and suddenly opened his eyes, and the stars in his eyes gradually dispersed. I am Rox D. Yuri. He was wide awake. At the same time, a wave of fear came over. Devil fruit has its own will. The more powerful the fruit, the stronger the will contained within it. Once you are intoxicated with power, your will gradually be changed by the will in the fruit. This is also true. This is why the personalities of many devil fruit strong men are very similar to the fruit's abilities. Kuzan's frozen fruit is extremely cold, and his character is lazy and restless. Akainu's molten berries are really violent, and his personality is like a volcano, ready to explode at a moment's notice. Luffy's Nika fruit is warm, and his personality is optimistic, cheerful, and loves to laugh. And Yuri's fruit, according to Sengoku's research, has the power to destroy the world. Yuri just had the urge to destroy the world regardless of everything. Think of this. He dissipated the gravity around him and looked at the lazy figure on the ground. Hello. This lazy old man. To express my gratitude, I invite you to join my Rocks Pirate. How about it? Think about it. Chapter 47. Come on. Let Lousy experience this era. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Hey, this lazy uncle, come join us Rocks Pirate. Yuri smiled and extended the invitation. He admired Kuzan. Eating the coldest fruits, but often doing the gentlest things. In order to find the confusion in his heart, he can try any path that he thinks can get the answer. Even if you fight with your colleagues. Even if you are an enemy of your mentor. He still insists on himself. Admiral of Headquarters Kuzan deserves his invitation. Nani. This guy actually invited Admiral from our marine to join his pirate group. Damn it. What kind of crazy thinking does he have? How can Marine join the pirates? Just die. That's the Admiral of Headquarters, Lord Kuzan, who wants to practice his own justice. I'll go. Dad's friend is so brave. He actually invited Marine Admiral to join the pirate group. Hiss. Even Dad and the other 4 emperors didn't have this idea, but he actually did. And he said it. Isn't he afraid that Admiral will get angry and kill him? Tisk, tisk, tisk. I finally understand why Dad admires him. I'm going to fall in love with this domineering attitude. Whether it's a marine or a pirate. After hearing Yuri's invitation, their jaws dropped. Hee, as expected of Yuri. Should first invite a marine to join me in the future. Luffy grinned, and this idea came to his mind. Yuri is indeed the leader. Inviting Marine Admiral to join the pirate group, only he can do such a thing. Luo didn't know what to say for a moment. All I can say is that extraordinary people do extraordinary things. Ivankov, Jinbei, and Crocodile were also surprised. This operation is unheard of. But they had seen 613 before, the terror of Marine Admiral. I also know that Kuzan will never agree, and will even get angry because of it. Yuri, we are in trouble. As expected. After hearing this sentence, Kuzan's expression suddenly darkened. Ice climbed on his face, and the cold air he exhaled from his mouth almost condensed into frost. I said, brother. Just kidding, there must be a limit. I am the Admiral of Headquarters who wants to destroy pirates. Ice Two-Thorn Spear. After Kuzan finished speaking, he launched an attack on Yuri in the air. Behind him, several ice spears appeared and shot out like lightning. Ha ha ha. Kuzan, think about it again. Everything in the world is impermanent and uncertain. Who says Marine Admiral can't become a pirate? Magnetism sword controlling technique. Yuri laughed. With a wave of his fingers, several metal weapons were controlled and struck towards the oncoming ice spears. The ice spear shattered. The weapon also lost power and fell to the ground. The first time Yuri and Kuzan met, they were evenly matched. After taking action once, both of them stopped moving temporarily. But everyone knows that the two of them are just in power. Once the momentum is gathered, Admiral of Headquarters Kuzan and Rock's pirate Captain Yuri will start a climax battle. This battle will determine the direction of the entire battlefield. Everyone is looking here. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Marine Square, an area less than 100 meters away from the execution platform. Two figures were confronting each other. One up and one down. One high and one low. Kuzan stopped for a moment, and the ice began to spread under his feet. Yuri was flying in the air, and the metal objects around him were shaking violently. Just when everyone thought the two were still gathering momentum, they both moved at the same time. Ice block. Advertisement. Kuzan raised his right arm and aimed it at Yuri in the air. The cold air gathered, and a giant ice bird several meters in size condensed. After letting out a silent hoofbeat, it flew into the air. Wherever it passed, endless cold air swept around it, and everything was instantly frozen. The ice phoenix dances in the sky, the madness of the void. This ice skeuomorphism was played to the limit by Aokiji. Well done. Yuri Lingran is not afraid. Let him fly and dance, let the cold air drift, but I will remain unmoved. I saw him making a sword with his hand and pointing it towards the sky. Magnetism sword is coming. Suddenly, the trembling weapons around him were attracted by the magnetic force, came to the sky above him, and flew around. Then, he lowered his arm and pointed his sword directly at Kuzan. The densely packed swords were immediately guided and shot downwards like arrows from the string. Phew! Puff, puff, puff. In the air, the giant ice bird continued to collide with the swords in the sky. The ice shards shattered and weapons fell. The ice birds are getting smaller and smaller, and the flying swords are getting fewer and fewer. In the end, the ice bird disappeared, and all the flying swords in the sky were frozen and lost their magnetism. The second collision between Kuzan and Yuri was still equally divided. After all, both of them are the top experts in the world. If the winner could be easily determined, how long would the gap between them be? Ah la la, this young guy, you don't look like you've been locked up for 36 years. Kuzan returned to his previous lazy self. Although he looks casual, the vigilance and fighting spirit in his eyes have not faded at all. Ha ha ha, this lazy uncle. Are you seriously not considering joining us, Rock's pirate? I think there is a lot of fate between us. Yuri continued the previous topic while his body slowly fell to the ground. Against Kuzan. He didn't dare waste his magnetic power here. Such a powerful opponent must go all out. Otherwise, if he is not careful, he will end up as a frozen pirate on the battlefield. Hello. Stop pretending. I'm old enough. Is it appropriate to call me uncle? Ice ball. With that said, Kuzan took action again. Around Yuri, dozens of huge icicles suddenly emerged from the ice that had spread from unknown time, and quickly closed in on him. Yuri knows Kuzan's moves very well. He knew that once these icicles were brought together, a huge ice ball would instantly form and freeze him inside. Electric energy excitement. Yuri remained calm. Electric energy gathers around the body. As it gathered to the limit, it suddenly exploded. Suddenly, within a radius of 5 meters, there was electric light everywhere. The icicles that came together were destroyed in the blink of an eye. Ah la la. Rocks D Yuri. I really can't use these moves against you. Kuzan took a deep breath. He was going to take action. Ha ha ha. Marine Admiral, Aokiji Kuzan. It seems that in order to deal with you, I have to come up with something real. Yuri doesn't want to play around anymore. Magnetism and electricity, although they sound terrible. But after all, it's just the basic ability of his devil fruit. No matter the power, range, endurance, etc., it can't be compared with the real magnetic fruit and thunder fruit. To deal with Admiral level strong men, basic abilities alone are not enough. To deal with them, either develop the fruit's abilities further or use hockey. Advertisement. The two looked at each other with red eyes shining. Observation hockey is on. The two of them plan to use their ultimate move. At this moment, a low voice came quickly. Kuzan Admiral, you are careless. Diamond crash. Following the sound, a burly and shining figure ran from the side with heavy and fast steps, and slammed into Kuzan, who was focused on Yuri. Come. Whitebeard Pirates, Captain of the 3rd Division, Diamond, Josie. As the top 5 captains of the White Group, any one of them has the strength of a disaster star. Even Admiral doesn't dare to neglect. In a battle of the same level, observation hockey is difficult to take into consideration elsewhere. As strong as the battle between Kaido and Luffy, they can also be suddenly attacked by CP0 people. Kuzan, same thing. Moment. He was hit by Josie and his body was thrown far away. However, it is Admiral after all. The person is still in the air, has adjusted his posture and launched an attack. Ice Age. Ice Age. Kuzan's trick can instantly freeze everything around you. In this war, Yinbi shines brightly. Freeze the huge wave and tsunami launched by Whitebeard with all his strength. Freeze all ships of the Whitebeard pirates. Freeze the meteorite summoned by Yuri. Now, he used this trick again. In the blink of an eye, the boundless cold air spread in all directions with him as the center, without any blind spots. The speed is so fast, like lightning, that people have no time to react. Josie bore the brunt. Still maintaining the collision posture, it was completely frozen into an ice sculpture. Yuri didn't escape either. After all, it's Marine Admiral's special move. If it's so easy to dodge, what's the point of calling it a special move? In just an instant, Diamond Josie and Demon Yuri were frozen in place. Everyone around was shocked. Ho, I win. As expected of Kuzan Admiral. Kuzan Admiral, take the opportunity to deal with them. Hey, isn't that right? Captain Joe's is frozen. Hiss. That Yuri is frozen too. Is this the strength of the Admiral of Headquarters? Marine cheered, shocked. But this cheering and shock did not last for a second. Kakakaka. The sound of ice cracking came and went. Everyone looked around and saw that the ice on Yuri's ice sculpture was rapidly breaking. With a pop sound, it completely shattered and turned into ice powder that dissipated all over the sky. Yuri's body also appeared again. Everyone discovered that there was a translucent and almost invisible defensive film floating on his body. This is electromagnetic force field. Luo's eyes widened. He found that the membrane on Yuri's body was exactly the same as that on the pacifist PX2. Immediately, he suddenly realized, yes, the pacifists use the blood of Master Yuri as their energy core. They can do it. There is no reason why Master Yuri can't. Even though he said this, Luo was still shocked. What a powerful learning ability this is. In just a short time, he has already demonstrated so many powerful skills. Is this a person who has been imprisoned for 36 years just after eating devil fruit, with no chance to train? If you give him a few more years, how terrifying he will be. Luo guessed correctly. This trick was indeed something Yuri had just learned. There is no reason for anyone to pirate it, but he can't do it for the genuine one. Advertisement. And electromagnetic force is also worthy of. They are the 4 fundamental forces of the universe. The electromagnetic force field shield formed easily blocked Kuzan's ultimate move without any damage. Although, Haki can too. But Haki has good physical strength. He is a patient who has just been released from prison after being imprisoned for 36 years and subjected to countless human experiments. It's so dangerous. I almost got killed. Yuri patted the ice residue on his body and said to Kuzan with a scared look on his face. Ah la la. It's weird to believe you. Kuzan wiped a wisp of bloodline from the corner of his mouth. After all, it was Diamond Josie's sudden impact that still caused him harm. He glanced at Josie, who was still frozen, and Yuri, who was full of life in front of him. Have already known. In front of me is Yuri with a smile on his face. The captains of the Whitebeard team are not from the same dimension at all. It's no longer possible to deal with him just by relying on the fruit's ability. Ah la la. It seems that long-range attacks cannot defeat you. This world. There is no mention of any top powerhouse that relies on long-range attacks to defeat the enemy. In the end, it still depends on strength to determine the winner. Said. His right fist becomes elemental. Transformed into an indestructible ice arm. Then, the swarthy Haki climbed on the arm. Ice gloves. This is the most powerful move created by Kuzan, combining fruit power and armament Haki. Here he comes. The strongest Kuzan Admiral. Haha. 4.9 Kuzan Admiral will definitely win this time. He is a man who can easily repel warships with just his physical strength. How can this skinny, creepy pirate be able to deal with him? That's right. He is Vice Admiral Garp's most proud disciple. Marines were all around, eyes shining with admiration. Once upon a time, the figure of Kuzan Admiral's warship hitting the ice was the target of every sailor passing by. Kuzan Admiral, who is so talented, trains hard, what is he doing for this? To uphold justice. Is this a move? Yuri, who has read the original work, naturally knows this trick. He also knew how powerful this move was. With this move, Kuzan can fight against Garp, who has Conqueror's entanglement. Although, Garp is already old and no longer has peak king level combat power. But that is Conqueror's entanglement. It is the top skill in this world. The only one who can compete with Ba Tang is Ba Tang. But Kuzan broke this conclusion. This shows how terrifying this move is. Haha. This is right. The real strong man. It's time to rely on Haki and strength in hand-to-hand combat to determine the winner. Yuri was not afraid at all. Comparing physical fitness. Comparing strength. More agile than defense. Hee. Just ask the guys at Rock's Pirate. Even though he had been imprisoned for 36 years, his body was far from recovering. But he took the punch. Yuri's eyes were full of excitement. He laughed wildly and roared at Kuzan. Thief, ha ha ha. Come on, Kuzan. Let Lousy feel the power of this era. Chapter 48 1 vs 2. Whitebeard. He is a super monster. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Roar. Then come on. Bet on Marine's justice. Suppress you, the devil who destroys the world. Shave. Kuzan also roared. Marine 6 styles is activated, and the figure disappears instantly. When he appeared again, he was already in front of Yuri. With the help of this inertia, he waved the ice glove and hit him hard in the face. The strong wind pressure blew his black hair flying. Well done. Yuri never gives up. He also punched Kuzan's black and white fist. There is no ability to display the fruit. Armament Haki is not covered. No winding Conqueror's Haki. Just a skinny fist of flesh and blood. Boom. A punch that gathered all the strength of the two people collided together. The shock wave raged, and the ground with a radius of tens of meters collapsed instantly. The howling wind blew up the surrounding ice, dirt, and rocks, causing the eyes of onlookers to hurt. Hiss. So strong. Is this a full blow from the two of them? No. That guy Yuri didn't use Haki. Ah. What is Haki? Ha ha ha. This guy dares to use Haki when fighting Kuzan Admiral. He will definitely lose. There is no need for this hand. Ah, what is Haki? That's right. That's Haki. Only Haki can fight against Haki. Ah, what is Haki? It seems that either he doesn't know how to use it, or he is too weak to use it. But either way, he is dead. Ah, what is Haki? Who keeps asking this? Didn't your teacher at Marine Military Academy teach you? Luffy, stop asking. Come back quickly. You fell into Marine's side. Oh, but what is Haki? Boom, boom, boom. In the smoke-filled battlefield, fierce collisions continued to be heard. Every blow caused the earth to shake and smoke and dust to surge violently. It was as if there were ancient ferocious beasts fighting inside. Suddenly, smoke and dust surged rapidly around the edges. A tall white figure was shot out. It's Kuzan Admiral. He looked unconvinced and rushed into the smoke. Boom. Then, another figure was shot out. Still Kuzan. Without pausing, he disappeared into the smoke again. Boom. A figure was shot out again. Still Kuzan. After taking a cold glance at the surrounding crowd, he rushed into the smoke and dust again. Ah, what's going on? Kuzan Admiral is actually at a disadvantage. This is the Kuzan Admiral who can defeat super battleships with his body. How could he lose to this sick man in terms of strength? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. All the Marines opened their eyes wide, as if they had discovered something unbelievable. Kuzan, this guy. Were you actually suppressed by that guy with physical strength? In the distance, Sakazuki's eyes trembled. They are both Marine admirals. Although they have never competed, their strengths are extremely different. Gulala. Magma Kid. Who do you think you are facing? That's Yuri from Rock's Pirate. As a former Rock's Pirate crew member, Whitebeard has witnessed endless growth. Only 10 years old, just talking about the body. Strength is not lost to him. Defense is as good as steel balloon Linlin. Agility, not inferior to lion fruit Shiki. Advertisement. His physique is not inferior to that of little Kaido from the Ghost Clan. He is truly a super monster. He is a super genius who is expected to surpass all the crew members of the Rock's crew and surpass his father, Sea Overlord, Rock's D. Zebek. So, don't look at how thin Yuri is now. His body is made of solid iron and steel. Otherwise, I would not have been imprisoned for 36 years and subjected to human experiments every year, and I would still have been able to resist. Boom. Another confrontation. Kuzan was knocked out again. This time, his feet slipped and he retreated far away. Looking at the smoke and dust ahead, his face was full of dissatisfaction, and he wanted to continue rushing into it. Suddenly, smoke and dust exploded violently. I saw Yuri clapped his hands together, and his figure appeared. He can disperse the surrounding smoke and dust just by slapping his palms together and creating a strong wind. Kuzan. It's not very feasible in this era. Yuri shook his wrist. He had just warmed up. In fact, it's not Kuzan's fault. Is he weak? Not weak. Then why did he fail to defeat Yuri? Everyone has their own fighting style. The reason why he was able to use this move to fight Garp, who was known as the Iron Fist, was because Garp was old, and because he was stabbed by Shiryu and was severely injured. What he is good at is super large-scale control. In terms of control ability over the entire sea, Kuzan is ranked first, but no one dares to be ranked second. It's a pity that the ice is strong enough but not powerful enough. In addition, Kuzan and Emission Haki don't have Emission Haki, and Conqueror's Entangle doesn't exist. How can they fight against Yuri who is fighting those four monsters? Certainly. If it were Akainu who would throw this punch, Yuri would not dare to catch it with his body. Joke. Can you use your physical body to catch the most powerful Logia fruit? Do you want to be drilled? Whitebeard and the super strong race of bears can't stand it. Kuzan. The next blow will kill you. Yuri doesn't want to delay. Marine is here, but there are 5 powerful men of the Imperial General level. If you include Hawkeye from the 7 warlords of the sea, that's 6. It would be very detrimental to him to continue to delay. Moreover, who knows if the world government will send someone here when they learn that he is out. That, Satan, one of the 5 elders, was chased and beaten by his father Rocks in the Valley of Gods. If Roger and Garp hadn't come, I'm afraid the immortal Saturn would have completely fallen. Yuri said. The arm was instantly covered with blood-red hockey. Advanced application of armed colors. Emission. Can break through enemy defenses and cause internal damage. No matter how hard Kuzan's ice is, it can't withstand it. But that's not enough. Opposite, it's Marine Admiral. Above the blood-red emission hockey, a layer of black lightning suddenly appeared. Advanced application of Conqueror's hockey. Conqueror's hockey can cause real damage to enemies. Only Ba Tang can fight against Ba Tang. Otherwise, even if you take it, you will still be hurt. Yuri, try your best. This punch, with gorgeous fireworks, released exploding black thunder and swung towards Kuzan Wolf. Bring it on. Let me see the strong men of that era. Ice armor. Ice gloves. Fist bone galaxy impact. Kuzan's move blocked everything he knew. The hardness of frozen fruit. Hockey of ice gloves. Learned from my mentor Garp's galaxy impact. With this move, the chest completely determines the winner. The two people looked at each other with blood-red eyes, and actual fireworks burst out. The fist is also approaching quickly. Suddenly. Advertisement. Behind Yuri, not far away in the air. Countless light particles converged into a yellow figure. As soon as the figure appeared, he looked down and a laser beam shot out from his hand. Oh, it came in time. Rocks D. Yuri. It's time to go west on your crazy journey. Come. Admiral of Headquarters. Logia sparkling fruit user. Kazaru. Porisalino. Originally, his opponent was Phoenix, Marco. But how can Marco, who only has the strength of an Imperial deputy, be able to hold off Marine Admiral? After several battles, Kazaru dodged and got rid of Marco's entanglement, relying on the speed of the fruit to fly towards this direction. He understands the current battlefield situation. Although the Whitebeard pirates are very powerful, they only have Whitebeard and Yuri with super combat power. Now, Whitebeard is dragged by Sakazuki and cannot escape. Well, just get rid of this Yuri. Marine will win big. At the moment, Yuri and Kuzan fight. Each observation hockey is focused on the other. This is a perfect opportunity. If he comes at this time, this blow will definitely hit Yuri hard. What? 2 against 1 without martial ethics? Then do you want me to withdraw all 100,000 sailors? On the battlefield, victory is everything. Strategy. Raid. Beat up. They are all just means. Regardless of high or low. And now, Marine will rely on this blow to win this battle. The yellow laser light emitted from Kazaru's hand, and in the blink of an eye, it came to Yuri's back. Now, there's Kuzan's fist in front. Then there's Kazaru's laser light. Attacked from both front and back, even the powerful Emperor and General would be unable to withstand them. What's more, Kazaru came unexpectedly. Raid. A flanking attack from both sides. Thief ha 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 ha. Kazaru. I have foreseen everything about you. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Yuri was not afraid and laughed wildly. The body turned, and his left hand suddenly came to the back, aiming at Kazaru's laser beam, and cyan lightning suddenly shot out from his fingers. Electricity, rapid lightning. Electricity and light. Both speeds are incredibly fast. In the blink of an eye, they have collided together. 2 green and yellow light beams began to interact with each other. Wave after wave of strong wind swept through the surrounding area. At the same time, Yuri's right fist was still aimed at Kuzan's fist. Boom. Sakura flowers are flying and black thunder is shining. The ground suddenly shattered, and shock waves came one after another. That's all. The left hand fights with Kazaru. The right hand fights with Kuzan. Yuri faced off against 2 admirals, 1 against 2. Thief ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I feel it. Although 1 versus 2, the electric light was suppressed by the laser light and became shorter inch by inch. Kuzan's right fist was also blocked, and he was getting closer to him. But Yuri is getting more and more excited. Because he felt that a brand new power appeared in his body. Not hockey. Advertisement. Not of bloodline. It does not belong to electromagnetic force. Nor does it belong to gravity. A new power belonging to devil fruit. This force caused every cell in his body to explode violently all the time. Unimaginably powerful energy surged freely within the body. In this energy, use it. His eyes instantly became as dark as ink. The long, pitch-black hair on his head gradually turns white from head to tail at a speed visible to the naked eye. At the same time, an evil, terrifying, and dangerous aura appeared, flowing on the battlefield. Everywhere you go, the grass on the ground is withered. Birds fall from the sky. Everyone around them could feel a burning tingling sensation on their skin, and suddenly, an ominous premonition emerged in their hearts. It's as if some kind of peerless evil has come out of its cage. And this vicious beast can destroy everything around it. Not even a blade of grass will grow. Hiss. What is this? It's so scary. No. I feel panicked just looking at him now. Me too. What is going on? Is it a fruit ability? Electromagnetism. Gravity. How come his fruit has so many abilities? Why is he so pervert? On the execution platform, Sengoku also felt the breath of 307 spreading across the battlefield, and his expression suddenly changed. The fruit obtained by rocks has never been seen before in the world. Even the celestial dragons don't know when this fruit appeared and replaced the original fruit. Originally, a piece of fruit was gone once it was gone. Even if it is top-grade devil fruit, you don't need to worry about it. But after Yuri saw the death of his father rocks in the Valley of Gods, part of the fruit's power area exploded. Even this small force completely destroyed the Valley of Gods. The celestial dragons were shocked and vowed to gain the fruit's power. But given that the top fruit has its own will, it will choose its owner. Instead of killing Yuri, they imprisoned him for research. For this reason, they imprisoned Vegapunk for eating the brain fruit and asked him to analyze the Yuri fruit's abilities. More than 10 years of research have made considerable progress. In the pacifist PX2, they gained electromagnetic power. Another kind of power was gained in the unfinished Seraph. In that ultimate weapon, a third power was obtained. A kind of king of power who can destroy everything wherever he goes, leaving no life or even a blade of grass alive. Therefore, Sengoku calls him a demon who can destroy the world. Otherwise, there are so many island-destroying moves, why would he be given the title of devil? Hateful. He has actually awakened to this kind of power. Hasn't he been imprisoned for 36 years? How could it happen so quickly? Sengoku was extremely surprised. He has seen part of this power. It is not a question of whether it is strong or not, but it is already able to affect the world's ecology. Once Yuri's power is fully awakened and explodes, the marine headquarters, Marineford, will be destroyed, if not destroyed. Moreover, all those with low strength here must die. No matter marine or pirate. This has nothing to do with Yuri's choice, but the passive effect of the ability. Just like the 5 elders who are aloof and overlook the changes in the world. No. Stop him now. Sengoku turned his head with a serious expression. Garp. Take action. Garp closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He remembered that day in the Valley of Gods. He and Roger, the two of them joined forces to defeat the man. He often dreams about that battle. I also often wonder, is it right to defeat such a strong man with 2 against 1? He has thought about this question for 36 years and has no answer. Now, his son came out. Now, he is going to take action against his son again. This time, it was 3 against 1. However, this time he had an answer. Garp opened his eyes suddenly, and there was no hesitation in his eyes. Old man. We'll kill him. Chapter 49 Sakazuki. Your era is over. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Garp made a decision and took action immediately. Suddenly, somewhere on the battlefield, a loud shout rang out. Dad. The sound is sad and heartbreaking to hear. It's the captain of the Whitebeard pirates, Edward Newgate. Something happened. Half a minute ago, Whitebeard and Akainu, in a fierce battle. Although they were fighting, they were also paying attention to the situation on the entire battlefield. The fight between Kuzan and Yuri was naturally noticed by the two. Akainu noticed that Kuzan, who was also an admiral, was suppressed, and he was very anxious and wanted to help. But he was firmly restricted here by Whitebeard and was not allowed to escape. However, as support from the Kizaru Admiral arrived, the two admirals began to beat Yuri alone. Suddenly, Yuri is at a disadvantage. Although, he awakened a power that was terrifying even to them. But those were two admirals after all. Moreover, Whitebeard also noticed that Sengoku said something to Garp beside him on the execution platform. Garp's expression changed several times and then turned into determination. Whitebeard knew that Garp was about to take action too. As an old rival from the same era, Whitebeard knows Garp's strength very well. Once he takes action, 3 against 1, no matter how strong Yuri is, he won't be able to hold on for long. Whether he can even fly away is a matter of pride. Suddenly, he became anxious and wanted to go to Yuri for support. Whitebeard, how dare you get distracted while fighting me? Great eruption. Akainu saw Whitebeard's distraction and killed him. Lava billowed from his right arm, like a volcano erupting, hitting Whitebeard's chest hard. This blow has the terrifying power to easily destroy a super battleship. Gulala. Damn molten imp. Who do you think lousy is? Whitebeard was furious and used all his strength to activate observation haki regardless of physical exertion. Suddenly, he saw the trajectory of Akainu's attack. After easily dodging it, fully activate the fruit's ability. Above the right fist, a huge white halo appeared. The powerful shaking force caused even the surrounding space to vibrate. He punched Akainu hard on the head. Lousy. But Whitebeard. Using his ability to foresee the future, Whitebeard has insight into all the directions in which the dog can avoid. This blow is inevitable. The fist hit Akainu hard on the face, and the powerful force instantly knocked his head to the ground. Pikakakakaka. The atmosphere and the ground could not withstand this attack, making a sound like broken glass, and the cracks spread like spider webs. Akainu's face twisted and he let out a loud cry of pain. After spitting out a mouthful of blood, Whitebeard slammed him into the cracked ground. Akainu's figure disappeared, but the lingering power of Whitebeard's blow had not stopped yet. Fissures in the earth spread towards the marine headquarters. Boom. The tall building complex was split into two in an instant, collapsed and squeezed together. Whitebeard knocked down Akainu with one blow and collapsed half of the marine headquarters. The most powerful blow from the world's strongest man is so terrifying. Everyone around was shocked and speechless. Seeing Akainu disappear, Whitebeard gasped violently and looked towards Yuri. At this moment, Yuri is still in a stalemate with the two admirals. The left hand's electric light shines, counter-attacking Kizaru's laser light. The black thunder from his right fist exploded, clashing with Kuzan's ice glove. After all, 1 against 2, they were gradually suppressed by the two admirals. At this moment, an extremely terrifying force emerged from his body. The pupils of his eyes instantly turned dark. Only the center is filled with scarlet. Advertisement. A head full of long black hair, starting from the scalp, turned white at a speed visible to the naked eye. Mania. Withering. Extinction. The auras are entangled and spreading towards the entire battlefield. Feeling this aura, Whitebeard frowned. Hey. What an ominous power this is. Yuri, this is the fruit that the captain sacrificed his life to get for you. Whitebeard knows that the more powerful the fruit's ability, the greater the price it pays when using it. He himself is an example. The full force blow just now temporarily knocked Sakazuki back, but he himself was not feeling well. Call. We have to get there as soon as possible. Whitebeard noticed that Garp on the execution platform had stood up and looked in the direction of Yuri with a serious expression. He took steps towards Yuri's position. Suddenly, the rear opposite side collapsed. A figure emerged from the spitting red lava. Whitebeard. Don't even think about leaving. Dark Hound. It's Akainu. Even if he is knocked into the ground. Even if he is severely injured, there will be bloodline all over his face. In order to stop Whitebeard, for Marine's glory, and for his own justice, he crawled back from hell. A sharp blow to Whitebeard's chest. Gulala. Lava imp. Your moves are useless against lousy. Whitebeard was indifferent, then raised his knife and struck Jian with a blow. Just then, his body suddenly froze. The aftereffects of stimulating the fruit with all my strength just now are here. All the strength in his body disappeared in an instant. His body was stiff and unable to move. He could only watch helplessly as Akainu's blow got closer and closer to his chest. Boom. Severe pain swept through Whitebeard's body. A big hole was opened in his chest by Akainu in an instant. A steady stream of molten slurry was injected into the body, burning the internal organs. Ah! Whitebeard's face was distorted, and he roared in vain. Damn you little devil! He endured the severe pain and tried to fight back with his knife. When Akainu saw this, he was not willing to fight and retreated after getting an advantage. Whitebeard missed with one blow. At this moment, the body's injuries began to explode. A mouthful of blood mixed with internal organs and lava spurted out. The tall body could no longer hold on and fell to one knee. Daddy! The white pirates who were fighting around them screamed in surprise when they saw this. What 4 emperors? What pirate king? What sea overlord rocks? Akainu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, panting heavily, with lava rolling all over his body, and stepped towards Whitebeard step by step. You, Roger's son. And that guy named Yuri. Today, everyone must die here. Your era is over. Akainu came to Whitebeard, gathered the molten metal in his right hand, and struck Whitebeard on the head. He wants to be here. At Marine headquarters. In front of the whole world. Take down Whitebeard yourself. With your own hands. End that era. It's over. Daddy. All the white pirates exclaimed when they saw this scene. Advertisement. They abandoned their opponents one after another and rushed here. But the battle between Whitebeard and Akainu was really terrifying. There was no one within dozens of meters around. With their strength, it was simply too late. Even if he comes in a hurry, his strength is not enough. Only the white group's top 5 captains with the Calamity strength could withstand this attack. Unfortunately, they are not nearby at this time. Phoenix, Marco, the captain of the first team, is flying towards Yuri. Kizaru was his opponent, and it was because he didn't delay that Yuri got into a 1-on-2 situation. He had to go to support. Diamond, Josie, the captain of the third team, was frozen by Kuzan and had just broken free at this time. Foil Sword, Beasta, the captain of the 5th division, loves swordsmanship and is one of the few top swordsmen in the world. At this time, he was delighted to see Hunter Shin, and he was fighting swordsmanship with Mihawk. The other captains also have their own opponents. No one is here, it's urgent. Their father is about to suffer a fatal blow. Hateful. Whitebeard is angry. But now he has suffered severe injuries and his old physical ailments have recurred. Under the double injury, his body is now unable to move at all. This blow cannot be avoided. He is very unwilling. My son Ace has not been rescued yet. He has not yet cultivated a qualified heir to the Whitebeard pirates. He hasn't had a drink with his old friend Yuri under the sunset yet. He has so many regrets. He doesn't want to die now. But time is the most ruthless. He is really old. He was so old that he was half kneeling on the ground and could only watch helplessly as the enemy attacked. But nothing can be done. Sons, I'm sorry. Dad, I can only accompany you here. Besides, Whitebeard looked towards the execution platform, Ace roaring in grief. Then look around and see the sons running towards here desperately. Then he looked into the distance again and saw the young man with flowing white hair. Yuri, it seems that you are going to find a new crew member to take my place. Marine headquarters, Malindo. A battlefield less than 100 meters away from the execution platform. Here, a peak battle is taking place. Yuri is fighting against 2 Marine admirals, Kuzan and Kizaru, 1 against 2. Under the pressure of the 2 admirals, he sensed a new, world-destroying power within his body. Under the influence of this force, his eyes were dark except for the pupils which were scarlet. The long black hair on his head also began to turn towards white hair. Once all the black hair turns white, this power will be fully awakened. Just then, he heard the shocking screams coming from the battlefield. Down pointing arrow Yuri frowned and looked into the distance. He saw Whitebeard half kneeling on the ground. In front of him, Akainu, covered in lava, was delivering a violent blow to Whitebeard's head. Whitebeard, have you reached your limit? Yuri understood that Whitebeard's body couldn't bear it anymore. Pity. Yuri is quite sorry. The heaven-destroying power in his body had only partially awakened. Once everyone wakes up, he is sure to resolve this battle quickly. But now, as long as he leaves this feeling of life and death, he will exit this once in a lifetime power awakening state. But, advertisement. Now Whitebeard is in trouble and he must save him. Only the awakening part is enough. Feeling the infinite power in his body, Yuri took a deep breath. His current strength, speed, physique, and defense have all been enhanced again. Both of you. I won't play with you. Got it. As he spoke, he suddenly withdrew his attack, then his body swayed and disappeared instantly. Huh. Want to leave? Oh, are you going to support Whitebeard? You are not allowed to leave like this. Kuzan and Kizaru know Yuri's purpose. Now is the best chance to kill Whitebeard. When Whitebeard is killed and Sakazuki comes over, it is only a matter of time before Yuri dies. So they have to hold Yuri back. Ice Age. Kuzan releases his ultimate move again. Suddenly, endless cold air swept across all directions. He knew that this move could entrap Yuri, but it only needed to hold him back for a moment. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Kizaru also releases his ultimate move. The sky is full of light spots, covering all directions in the direction of Yuri's progress. Want to save Whitebeard? Then you must bear this move. Cut. Two troublesome guys. Yuri curled his lips helplessly. But no matter how fast the speed is, it cannot be faster than the speed of light. If he didn't dodge, Kizaru's blow would definitely hit him, Zhao. But once you dodge or resist this move, Kuzan's Ice Age will catch up again. These two people made it clear that they wanted to hold him back. So annoying. But I can't play with you today. Yuri continued to move forward, regardless of the lights in the sky behind him. Oh, do you choose to resist forcefully? Don't underestimate my attack. Kizaru was flying in the air, touching his chin, extremely confident. Ah la la. It seems that he messed up in order to save Whitebeard. Kuzan put his hands in his pockets again. He knew the attack power of his colleague's move. The light particles may seem small, but if you don't pay attention to resisting them, you will die. Hateful. Whitebeard's life hangs by a thread. In order to save him, Yuri had to be hit by the ultimate moves of Kizaru and Kuzan Admiral. This battle looks like we are losing. Luo, Ivankov and others felt sad. I never expected that the situation would suddenly turn into this. Resistance. Will I resist? You guys, don't underestimate me. Yuri is moving forward quickly, and at the same time, the fruit ability is activated. Repulsion Shinra Tenzhang. Since I have gravity, why can't I convert it into repulsion? Suddenly, a powerful repulsive force erupted with him as the center. Everything around him, whether it was Kizaru's 8-foot Magatama or Kuzan's Ice Age, was all blown away. Without the interference of these two moves, no one can stop Yuri anymore. He went full speed ahead. I saw a stream of light passing through Pong on the battlefield. In an instant, Yuri appeared in front of Whitebeard, punching against Takainu's lava surge. Above the fist, black lightning instantly filled the air. What did you just say? Whose era is over? Chapter 50 The Qualifications of a King. Innate Power. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. What did you just say? Whose era is over? Yuri's dark eyes stared at Akainu. With his right fist, black thunder and lightning flashed, and he struck hard at the incoming lava fist. So fast. Seeing Yuri who suddenly appeared and stood in front of him, Jonyan's eyes shrank. I was extremely shocked. He and Kizaru have a close friendship. Therefore, we know how fast this friend is. But the guy in front of him was able to get here unscathed thanks to the combined efforts of Kizaru and Kuzan. His strength is so strong. However, Akainu is not afraid at all. He believes in his own strength and his fists. Even Whitebeard, who is known as the strongest man in the world, was severely injured by his lava fist. Yuri. Just a prisoner. He's just a loser's son. If Marine can catch him once, he can catch him countless times. I'm talking about you. You remnants of the old era should have been buried in history long ago. Go to hell. Dark Hound. Akainu's fist was waved out firmly. In front of him is the enemy. He is always fearless. A remnant of the old era. Ha ha ha, let me come and appreciate the strongest attack power in the new era. Boom fist. Destruction in all directions. This move was also invented by Yuri. It combines the Conqueror's entanglement and the awakening of some abilities within the body. Because this ability is like a bomb, roaring violently in every cell in the body. Therefore, this move was named Bang Fist by him. And because this power carries the aura of destroying everything. Therefore, it is called destruction in all directions. Booming Fist, all directions will be destroyed. vs. Molten Berry Dark Hound. Boom. Two fists, one red and one black, slammed together. The violent power instantly caused cracks to break out in the surrounding ground, spreading in all directions like a spider web. Ah, 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 you pirates should all die. Akainu could feel his fist hitting the red line. But he still gritted his teeth and pressed forward firmly. Even with blood all over his body, he didn't take a step back. He can't retreat. Behind him is justice. He never chose to back down. Do all pirates deserve to die? Akainu's words made Yuri think. After traveling through 10 years, he has seen many pirates. 290 he can say something boldly. Really, all pirates deserve to die. They are greedy, selfish, lawless and misbehaved. At that time, he had never seen a pirate who treated people well. But, he can't die. Because he has something he wants to do. That's right. All pirates deserve to die. Yuri suddenly spoke, surprising Akainu. But, it's not up to you world government to end it. Suddenly, Yuri's expression changed and became extremely serious. I will personally save this troubled world. Advertisement. Finished. The power in his body suddenly exploded. A powerful impact centered on him and spread to all directions. Wherever he went, everything withered and there was deathly silence. Akainu could no longer withstand the sudden huge force in Yuri's fist, and was punched away. Sakazuki Admiral was knocked away. Hiss. Impossible. That's Sakazuki Admiral. Marine was at a loss. No one dares to take Akainu's fist. This guy named Yuri not only blocked it from the front, but also knocked Admiral away. Horrible. On the Whitebeard pirates' side, there are endless surprises. They quickly came and ran towards Dad, wanting to help him. However, before I even got close, I felt my breathing was stagnant, and I felt like I couldn't get any oxygen. At the same time, there was burning pain on the skin surface. The blisters swelled and burst at an extremely fast speed. What is going on? Is it poisoning? No. This is his power. The power from the devil. Hiss. Will you be harmed if you get close to it? What kind of ability is this that can kill all things? The pirates reacted and looked at the mysterious Yuri not far away with horrified expressions. People are always afraid of the unknown. Especially this kind of unknown that can easily take away one's life. Involuntarily, they looked at Yuri with a hint of repulsion and fear. Hello, Yuri. Put away your unknown power. Whitebeard regained some strength, struggled to stand up, came to Yuri and said, this power is very powerful, but it will also make you pay an unprecedented price. What's the cost? Yuri knew that Whitebeard was right. He could feel that the cells in his body were rapidly disappearing. That's right. This terrifying ability can quickly shorten his lifespan. Even if he gains immortality due to the devil fruit, he will die of exhaustion if used for a long time. This is an unknown ability. Moreover, you still don't distinguish between friend and foe, which will harm your partner's ability. Think of this. Yuri closed his eyes and took back this power. Suddenly, the white hair turned black again, and the dark eyes returned to normal. And the deathly aura surrounding him quickly dissipated. Suddenly, elements surged ahead. In the middle, fiery red lava accumulates. Akainu's figure with a face covered in blood appears. On the left, infinite light particles gather, and Kizaru stands leisurely. On the right, a large amount of ice has condensed, and Kuzan has a serious expression. 3 admirals arrived hand in hand and stood in front of the injured Whitebeard and Yuri. Behind him, a large number of marines gathered. Hello. Dad, are you okay? After a phoenix cry, cyan flames fell behind Whitebeard, and Marco, the captain of the first team, arrived. The green flames of his hands were placed on Whitebeard's wounds to heal him. Don't even think about hurting Dad again. The sound of heavy running appeared, and the captain of the 3rd Division, Josie, came. I won't let Dad get hurt again. Petals fell all over the sky, and Captain Beasta of the 5th Division appeared. Dad, we are here. The other captains also arrived one after another. The pirates are afraid of Marine's powerful combat power and are afraid that Lauge will be injured again. The Marines were frightened by Yuri's terrifying and strange abilities. In this way, the Whitebeard pirates and the Marines faced off again. But the atmosphere is getting more and more tense. The war starts again, only in an instant. At this moment, Yuri spoke and shouted not far away. Hey! Luo, please come here. Suddenly, all eyes were turned to the Madara-dotted cap pirate outside the battlefield. Really? I'm not someone who likes to be in the limelight. Luo had no choice but to walk towards Yuri. Master Yuri, what's going on? Help look at Newgate's injuries. Advertisement. Although Marco is a doctor in Baituan, his medical skills are. You can tell from the fact that Whitebeard's health has not improved over the years. And Luo is a user with op fruit ability. When it comes to medical skills, there are few in the vast sea who dare to say that they are better than him. Hello, Master Yuri, the occasion is not appropriate. Luo glanced at the 3 admirals who were looking at him eagerly, and the Marines who were like wolves and tigers. Fine, I'm here. Yuri is not afraid at all. Now, his new power awakens. The big deal is, Wushwang is fully activated, and you can't tell the difference between friend and foe, just do it indiscriminately. As long as Whitebeard doesn't die, everyone else will love him. Oh, adding Luffy and Luo, we finally saved him. Luo breathed a sigh of relief before checking Whitebeard. But in an instant, his expression changed, he came to Yuri's side and spoke in a low voice. Yuri is the boss. The head of Whitebeard's internal organs has been severely damaged. First, it's because of the damage caused by the magma, and more importantly, it's the backlash of his fruit ability on the body. He can no longer use shock fruit's ability, otherwise, the internal injuries will worsen and he may die at any time. Luo's fruit can dialyze and analyze the human body, and he can instantly see where Whitebeard's problem lies. Although Akainu's attack is powerful, it can't kill Whitebeard with one blow. The one who caused him the greatest harm was himself. Can't the fruit power be used? Yuri was lost in thought. Now on the battlefield, it is impossible to save Ace without using your abilities. With Baihu's character, even if he died, he would try his best to save Ace. It's difficult. For a while, Yuri had no other solution. Suddenly, he thought of a possibility. Since it is best not to use the fruit ability, then why not just deprive it of the fruit ability? And looking at the entire sea, the only one who can do this is that person. In Yuri's mind, the figure laughing like, thief ha 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 ha, suddenly appeared. One drink and one peck. I didn't expect this thing to be your cat. But Yuri didn't tell Whitebeard this method. Given Whitebeard's character, knowing that it was Blackbeard who could save him, he would not agree even if he died. Instead, he will use all his strength to completely kill Blackbeard. He planned to find an opportunity to get this done. On the execution platform, Sengoku looked at the battlefield that was once again in a confrontation, thinking about something. Finally, he looked at Garp aside and made a decision. Time is up. Prepare to execute Ace. Sengoku's words spread throughout the battlefield. Suddenly, the people of the Whitebeard pirates went crazy. Ace. Damn it. Damn it, Marine. Come on, Ace Tien. The battle is about to break out again. Marine 3 Admiral rushed directly towards Whitebeard and Yuri. This time, they learned from experience and directly entangled the two of them, not giving them a chance to activate Conqueror's Haki. To prevent the 2 executioners we just found from being stunned again. Once Ace was executed, Marine's battle was declared an initial success. Next, there is no need for anyone to guard the execution platform. Marine Marshal Sengoku, and Marine Hero Garp, can join in the encirclement and suppression of Whitebeard and Yuri. 5 against 2. Even if Whitebeard returns to his peak. Even if this Yuri explodes with all his strength. There is no chance of winning. The defeat of the Whitebeard pirates is only a matter of time. Yuri will eventually be captured and live in that endless hell again. Become a human experiment. The white team captains also knew this and rushed forward to save Ace, but were blocked by the naval headquarters elite vice admiral. For a while, no one can break through the execution platform. Advertisement. Everyone could only watch helplessly as the executioner aimed his long bayonet at Ace. 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 Not far away, Luffy panicked as he ran towards the execution platform. He sprinted desperately, not dodging Marine's attacks along the way. In the blink of an eye, his body was slashed several times and his body was dripping with blood. He still didn't care and just ran towards the execution platform. He wants to rescue his brother Ace. However, the distance of just a few hundred meters was so close on weekdays, but today, it was so far away. It was so far away that it seemed like he would never be able to touch it. Seeing the sharp blade about to pierce into his brother's body, Luffy suddenly exploded. Stop it. The violent will, like a roaring mountain and a tsunami, swept across the entire battlefield in an instant. The two executioners who had just been caught were stunned again. Everyone looked at this scene in surprise. He immediately turned his attention to Luffy, the person who caused all this. Oh, the young people today are so scary. Kizaru exclaimed. HMPH. Another guy who needs to be eliminated. Akainu said seriously. Huh. Kuzan looked sideways. Ha. What an interesting kid. Is this your choice? Hawkeye's mouth curled up slightly. This kid is indeed Garp's grandson. Whitebeard praised. Ace's younger brother actually has such potential. Marco was surprised. Luffy, do you really have innate power? Garp's eyes widened. Hey, Garp. Your great-grandson. Sengoku had a huge headache. The Straw Hat Master. Luo was shocked. What a brat. Crocodile was surprised. Ha. Luffy boy has the same abilities as his father. Ivankov was delighted. Everyone present was shocked by this scene. Although, the intensity of this conqueror's haki is far less than Yuri's previous attack. But, this is a 17-year-old child. At such a young age, he can burst out with a talent that is unique in a million. His future is limitless. Good. It would be really hard to handle it if you didn't break out. Yuri nodded calmly. As for surprise, it doesn't exist. At the age of 3, he is already capable of conqueror's haki. Good chance. Suddenly, on the battlefield, a green figure suddenly jumped up. When everyone focused their attention on Luffy, he transformed into a giant blue bird and flew towards the execution platform. Marco, the captain of the first team, seized this opportunity. Oh, I won't let you get close. In Kizaru's hand, the laser light shines. Bew. Bew. 2 consecutive shots were fired towards Marco in the air. Marco, however, did not dodge and let the laser beam hit him, and his chest was immediately shot through. But under the burning of his cyan flame, the injury recovered instantly. Roar. Captain Marco. Charge. Go rescue Ace. White team leader. Morale boosted. See, the attack is invalid. Kizaru immediately uses Yata Mirror and pursues him. Yo. Where do you want to go? Suddenly, his body froze and he felt locked by a powerful force. Turning his head to look, he saw Yuri chuckling not far away. In his hand, a shining gold coin was tossed up and down. Kizaru has seen this move before. Kill dozens of pacifist PX-1s with one hit. Hands up then. Look at the blue divine bird that cuts through the sky and heads straight towards the execution platform. Tisk. This is going to be troublesome. Chapter 51 Me. I have long wanted to learn your iron fist. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The blue bird gallops towards the execution platform. With all the heroes watching, no one can stop him. At this moment, Marco is the most handsome boy on the entire battlefield. 10 meters. 5 meters. 3 meters. Close. He could already see his brother Ace's eyes widening on the execution platform, with a worried expression on his face. Huh, Ace, what is he worried about? I also saw that among the 2 executioners who fainted, one of them with a 3-letter haircut was slowly waking up. This sailor is a bit interesting. Finally, first saw Marine Marshal Sengoku, who still had a calm old face. Snort. Wait until I rescue Ace and see if your expression changes. Marco thought so and flapped his wings again. Suddenly, he felt that the sky suddenly darkened. No. It's not dark. Above his head, a tall figure suddenly appeared. Hello. I am in heaven. How could someone be taller than me? He looked up in disbelief and saw an old man with white hair and beard, a cloak flying behind him, swinging his right fist wrapped in black lightning and hitting him hard. Boom. For everyone, look up and look heavily. The old man conqueror's hockey's wrapped fist hit Marco's blue bird head hard. Black and green handover. Suddenly black thunder flashed. Under the violent force, Marco was smashed to the ground like a bird with broken wings. Rumble. A deep mark dozens of meters long was made on the ground. Marco crawled out of the pit with an ugly face, his body burned with green flames, repairing his almost broken neck, looking at the man with shock on his face, falling under the execution platform, sitting on the Admiral's seat with emotion, facing everyone. The domineering and roaring old man. I want to get over here. Then come and defeat me. Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, Iron Fist, Monkey D. Garp. This marine hero, after decades of absence, takes action again. One punch. The Whitebeard pirates, the strongest ones besides Whitebeard. A top-notch strongman who can collide head-on with Marine Admiral Kizaru without losing. Ked up. Ho! Vice Admiral Garp takes action. With Vice Admiral Garp in charge, no one can cross that line. That's our marine hero. Garp's move. Give Marine endless confidence. In an instant, the psychological shadow brought by the world's strongest Whitebeard and the demon Yuri who wanted to destroy the world was dispelled. As long as this legendary old hero who has spanned several eras is here, Marine will not lose. It is impossible to lose. Marine hero Garp, Dorig's father. He takes action. Ivankov, who has always been optimistic about rescuing Ace, now becomes pessimistic as Garp takes action. Really? There are many people who didn't expect Garp to take action. After all, he watched Ace grow up and is Ace's grandfather. It is extremely cruel for a grandfather to watch his grandson die. Now, this grandfather has to kill his grandson's hope of survival with his own hands. How cruel. Garp, Whitebeard, can understand Garp's mood at this moment. He looked at this old rival he hadn't seen for decades and sighed in his heart. Each of them has their own identity and their own mission to complete. Now, his identity is Ace's father. Advertisement. His mission is to rescue his son. Looking around, the sons whose morale was greatly reduced because of Garp's attack, Whitebeard shouted with a pestle. Sons. He is just a veteran, a remnant of the old era. Defeat him, surpass him, and rescue your brother Ace. Yes, marine heroes are human too. He will also grow old, get sick, and get injured. Even my father, the strongest man in the world, is not immune, so why should I be afraid of a mere old man? Who? Everyone, rush and rescue Ace. The pirates, with their morale boosted again, charged forward. The melee begins again. Although he shouted so, Whitebeard knew. Garp took action, and the difficulty of rescuing Ace increased dramatically. Even if he and Yuri teamed up, it would be difficult to do so. And now, the only one who can do this. Whitebeard and Yuri looked at each other and spoke in unison. Ace's brother. Garp's grandson. Yes, only Garp's biological grandson. Only then can he break through his grandfather's defense. After all, no grandpa would stop his grandson with his deadly hands. How can any grandfather stop his grandson from saving his Gao Gao? Hello, kid. Do you still have the strength? Do you still have the guts to rescue your brother? Whitebeard came to Luffy, who was too weak to stand, and asked. Of course. I will definitely rescue Ace. Luffy answered without hesitation. Then he looked at Ivankov beside him and begged. Little Ivan, give me that injection again. No. Ivankov flatly refused. One more injection of adrenaline and you might die. Luffy's expression was firm. Even if it means death. I will rescue Ace. Ivankov was moved. He thought of Luffy's father Dorag, the man who was determined to overthrow the time government. As expected of a father and son. The will is so firm. Even if you sacrifice yourself, you must complete what you have to do. Ivankov gave in and gave Luffy another shot of adrenaline. With the blessing of adrenaline, Luffy temporarily regained his strength. He looked at Whitebeard and said seriously, Hey, Whitebeard. I don't call you kid. My name is Monkey D. Luffy. He is the man who wants to become the Pirate King. After that, he ran forward without hesitation. Looking at Luffy's running back, a smile appeared on Whitebeard's lips, and he looked at Yuri beside him. This brat. The future is limitless. Yuri nodded. Yes, he is a man who can become a king. Then he will be your strong opponent in the future. Aren't you afraid that your wish will fail? Whitebeard asked curiously. Yuri's eyes were shining with light. Newgate, why do you think human life is so wonderful? Without waiting for Whitebeard to answer, he continued to speak on his own. Take you for example. You are the 4 emperors, you are the strongest man in the world. Does this status make your life exciting? No. The excitement of life has nothing to do with your identity. The reason why life is wonderful is that you have a strong enough opponent. Whitebeard was stunned. He thought of Captain Rock's Golden Lion Shiki comes to mind. Thinking of Roger the Pirate King. Sengoku, Garp, come to mind. Advertisement. Redhead, Linlin, Kaido come to mind. Yes, it is precisely because of the existence of these powerful opponents that his life is exciting enough. Gu la 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 la. It seems that I have the opportunity to witness your wonderful life that has just begun. Rocks D. Yuri, Captain. After a short conversation, Whitebeard already knew Yuri's ambition. He wants to live the most wonderful life for his father. Fight the strongest enemy. Marry the most beautiful woman. Sit in the highest seat. Become the true king of this world. And he will be the witness to all this. But first, he must rescue Ace. By the way, add another touch of excitement to this future captain. Gula Lala, sons. Cover Luffy with all your strength. Come on. Go rescue your brother Ace. The Whitebeard Pirates battle has changed its focus. Now everyone starts to cover Luffy and clear all obstacles on his way. Rubber Rubber. Ace's brother. Leave this enemy to me. Just charge. Rubber Rubber Machine. Straw Hat. Let me do this. Charge. Rescue Ace. Rubber Rubber. Stop talking. There are still enemies ahead. Luffy. Charged towards the execution platform. Behind you, countless people follow. Every time he encountered an enemy, someone would stop him before he could take action. Along the way, he didn't take action once, he just ran. Encountering the naval headquarters vice admiral, the white team leader and his captain take action. Encountering the 7 warlords of the sea, the prison alliance takes action. As he ran, there were fewer and fewer teammates around him. But he was getting closer and closer to the execution platform. Zero, please give me flowers. Finally, he saw a shocked Ace. I saw my grandpa sitting in the Admiral's seat under the execution platform with an expression of neither joy nor sorrow. Straw Hat Luffy. I won't let you pass. Suddenly, a laser light came from ahead. Yo, Kizaru. Your opponent is me. Don't bother me, Ace's brother. Marco fell from the sky and blocked Kizaru's attack. This old rival who has fought against each other since the beginning is fighting together again. Ah la la. Is he Garp's grandson? It's really difficult to handle. Ice Age. Following Kizaru is Kuzan. He said it was difficult to deal with, but his attacks were merciless. As soon as I take action, I want to freeze Luffy here. Yo. This lazy uncle. I advise you, it's best not to move. On the side, Yuri, flying in the air with flowing long hair, smiled and spoke. Seeing that it was Yuri, Kuzan put his hands in his pockets and exhaled helplessly. You guys. It's really difficult. He is a disciple of Garp, and Luffy is equivalent to his nephew. Now that there is a strong opponent blocking him, there is no need to force the move anymore. Dog bites Gurren. Suddenly, a giant dog-headed lava fist struck, blasting towards the running Luffy. You pirates. Advertisement. One by one, they really deserve to die. When Akainu attacks, he uses his killing move without caring about Luffy's identity. Gulala. Lava Imp. Our battle is not over yet. Even if you use the fruit's ability again, you may die. But in order to save Ace, Luffy. Not afraid. How could he, Whitebeard, be afraid? Raise your Naginata and block this giant lava fist. Now. Marine Vice Admiral. 7 Warlords of the Sea. Admiral of Headquarters. All were stopped. The execution platform is right in front of you. There is only one person left in front of Luffy. That old man. Everyone present dared not say they could defeat him. Legend of the Times. Marine hero. Garp. Grandfather. Get out of the way. Stepping on the road carried by the lightning of the Revolutionary Army cadres, Luffy shouted angrily towards Garp ahead. How could I get out of the way? I'm the Vice Admiral from Marine Headquarters. I have been fighting pirates long before you were born. If you want to pass here, just step on my corpse. Straw Hat Luffy. That's the path you choose. Garp shouted loudly. Marines and pirates are enemies. How could I, the noble Marine, make way for you, a pirate? After hearing his grandfather's words, Luffy, who was running, remembered what his grandfather told them to be Marines when they were young. Did not expect. He really became a pirate, but he had to fight his dearest grandfather. But he has no regrets. Because he wants to rescue his brother. Grandfather. I must rescue Ace. Yeah, second gear. Luffy's body was filled with steam, his expression was extremely determined, and he punched Garp. Old man. I will also treat you as an enemy. Garp is holding back his grief. Above the right fist, black lightning shines again. He hit the running Luffy hard. Block it. Marine's justice. Everyone is watching. This battle between grandfather and grandson is also between Marine and pirates. Mutual attacks. Low. Right now. Got it. Room slaughterhouse. Under the battlefield. There was a sound. Suddenly, everyone noticed that Luffy's figure disappeared in the sky. Instead, there was a young and thin man with slicked black hair, fluttering white robes and a faint smile. Hello. Monkey D. Garp. As he spoke, the man's black hair gradually turned white. On the right fist, violent energy gathered, and black thunder and lightning shone. He faced Garp's iron fist and hit him hard. Me. I've long wanted to learn your iron fist. Chapter 52. Who has this bad habit? Leave lousy alone. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Garp. You bully the small with the big. I can't stand it anymore. Yuri suddenly appeared, and the Conqueror's wrapped right fist suddenly flew away against the reliable galaxy impact. Garp was stunned for a moment, then suddenly became more motivated to fight. If it were Luffy, he might hesitate, miss the mark, or do something that goes against the justice behind him. But he would not hold back against the guy named Yuri in front of him, this walking natural disaster demon with the power to destroy the world. The fist hit 3 points again. Well done. I will end you right here. The two domineering fists gradually approached. Before it got completely close, it exploded. Suddenly, the light and shadow were distorted, and black thunder raged. Powerful shock waves spread in all directions one after another, rolling up boundless wind and waves. The terrifying conquerors' black lightning entangled and collided with each other. Then, they suddenly merged into one place and faced the sky, swinging straight up. Above Marine Headquarters, the giant ice hand and the frozen meteorite were instantly shattered by the entangled black lightning, and the rocks flew into the sea, causing huge winds and waves. The lightning remained unabated and continued to burst into the sky, disappearing into the thick dark clouds that had gathered at some point. Stimulated by this hockey, the clouds were rolling, and they suddenly burst apart with the two people at the center. The sky cracks. Meteorite. The meteorite was shattered. Hey, everyone, look up. The sky is cracking. Hiss. So strong. Is this the spirit of a top strong man? He can even crack the sky. Vision of the sky splitting. This is a scene that will only appear when a powerful emperor-level warrior uses Conqueror's hockey to entangle and fight. The ocean is so huge that countless people can hardly see it even once in a lifetime. Because it is rare in the world for a strong person to reach this level. But now, they saw it. This moment will also be engraved in the memories of countless people. And caused all this. One side is Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral. Marine Hero. Iron Fist. Monkey D. Garp. On one side is the leader of the Rocks Pirate, Devil, Rocks D. Yuri, who has been imprisoned for 36 years and threatens to revive the glory of Rocks. These two people, with just one blow, will be remembered in history. In front of the execution platform. Garp and Yuri's fists were still clashing with each other. The two were equally matched, but for the sake of their own beliefs, neither one is willing to give in. Garp glanced at the dazed Luffy below, and he seemed to understand something. All this was not planned. But Yuri changed his plan temporarily and asked him to fight with him. As for the reason, if he didn't understand it before, he understands it now. He read the punch. There was no hatred or murderous intent in this punch. This punch is not to kill the enemy. It is to save the enemy. Understand this, the battle between grandfather and grandson, the ethical siege. Let me ask, how can there be any reason in the world for a grandson to beat his grandfather? Let me ask, how can there be any reason in the world for a grandfather to kill his grandson? You are very similar to your father. But very different. Faced with the fist, Garp suddenly spoke. Oh, Yuri raised his eyebrows. They look a bit similar, but they act very differently. He's a real pirate, and you don't like killing very much. The Yuri in front of me seems to be heading towards destroying Marineford with every move. But think about it. Marineford is still here. 100,000 sailors and 40,000 pirates are still there. If this Yuri really wants to be destroyed, is it difficult? Everything is just a performance. So, what do you want to express? Yuri asked back. He certainly doesn't like killing. Advertisement. He is a good young man who has received more than 10 years of modern education. In addition, he was only 10 years old when he was arrested and sent to prison, and he had not yet officially participated in the pirate group's operations. It can be said that his hands and soul are very clean. Garp looked at Yuri in front of him seriously. The familiar appearance overlapped with the figure who smiled proudly facing him and Roger in the Valley of the Gods 36 years ago. Suddenly, he smiled. The knot that had troubled me for 36 years was suddenly resolved. Thanks. After saying this, the power in Garp's fist suddenly weakened. Hear this. Feel the resistance in front of your fist disappear. Yuri knew that Pooh already knew the meaning of his punch. So, live well. I will kill you with my own hands. Upright and upright. After that, I went through it again. With a fierce punch, Garp was knocked away and crashed into the building behind him. The building collapsed, burying his body. This. Vice Admiral Garp lost. Impossible. Is this Yuri that strong? Marines, this is unbelievable. But strong people know that it was Garp who gave up the punch on his own initiative. It wasn't Yuri he lost to. Garp, you still lost to the love between grandfather and grandson after all. Just lie inside quietly like this. Sengoku looked at Garp who was buried in the rubble and felt sad for him. Then, he looked at Yuri not far away, with a cold light in his eyes. Next, it's up to me. Room slaughterhouse. Suddenly, Yuri disappeared and Luffy appeared again. Sengoku is stunned. Garp can't take action against Luffy. How could he, Grandpa Sengoku, do it? During this hesitation, Luffy had already rushed to the execution platform. Finally got here. Ace, here I come. Standing in front of Ace, Luffy showed his brightest smile. Luffy. After Ace's face was full of surprise, he then turned to relief. You guys are really as crazy as ever. Ace. Hold on. I'll save you now. Luffy took out the key he found in Impel Down Prison from his pocket, pointed it at the seastone handcuffs, and prepared to insert them. If the key is destroyed, how are you going to save people? Suddenly, a lewd voice sounded. Phew. A yellow laser light emitted from Kizaru's hand on the battlefield and shot towards the key. Not good. Marco was shocked. It is his mission to hold back Kizaru. However, he was punched by Garp and seemed to be healed by Chingyun, but in fact he had not fully recovered yet, so he could not be held back. Whitebeard also changed his expression. Once Kizaru shoots the key, all efforts will be in vain. Hello, Kizaru. You are so dazzling, you know. Suddenly, Yuri's figure came into the sky. A bolt of lightning shot out from his hand. Turn on the photoelectric wave mode with Kizaru again. Oh, advertisement. Is this also under your control? You are really scary. He took action suddenly, and even Whitebeard and others were unable to react. Coupled with the rapidity of light. Unless it was anticipated, this attack would not have been intercepted. Yuri smiled and said nothing. He can't say, I have read the original work. Moreover, even if he doesn't take action, Mr. 3, who is about to wake up on the execution platform, can still make another one. But just in case, he still chose to take action. Who knows if the plot will change even more because of his existence. Click. The key poked into the handcuffs. At this moment, golden light surged. A huge golden Buddha suddenly appeared. Rays of golden light spread from the back of his head in all directions. The huge execution platform could not bear the weight, and the steel nails collapsed one by one. It was Sengoku who reacted. He activated the fruit ability, the giant Buddha's hand, aimed at Luffy and Ace below, and said angrily, "You think you can escape from my grasp?" Buddha's impact. When the Buddha is angry, the world is turned upside down. Luffy looked in shock at the giant palm that was covering the sky and getting closer and closer. He was so frightened that he was at a loss what to do. Really are. Why do I feel like a firefighter? A faint voice sounded from beside him. Yuri's figure suddenly appeared. At this time, his dark eyes were extremely evil, half of his hair turned white, and he returned to his previous state. When they were sparring just now, in this state, he felt that there was still a lot he could do. For example, this move. I saw his left palm stretched forward and his right palm pulled back, making the same posture as Sengoku. Then, his right palm suddenly swung upwards. The energy in my body is like a nuclear bomb, exploding all the time. This move is called nuclear shock wave. Suddenly, it was like a nuclear bomb going off. A dark shock wave was released from Yuri's hand. The golden Buddha struck from above and hit hard. Suddenly, black and gold collide. It's like a fight between demons and Buddhas. The powerful impact spreads in all directions. The execution platform could no longer withstand the impact and completely collapsed. Not far away, the battered Marine headquarters building also completely collapsed. Smoke and dust enveloped Yuri and others. Suddenly, there was fire rising in the smoke, and then the flames suddenly burst out, and the smoke was swept away. Everyone found out. There were 4 people standing there safe and sound. Rocks D. Yuri. Monkey D. Luffy. Portgas D. Ace. There is another one, a sailor with a 3 hairstyle. Who? Ace is rescued. Ha ha ha, I knew we could do it. Hey, Dad, did you see that Ace was rescued? Not far away, looking at the lively Ace and others, Whitebeard had tears in his eyes and showed a long-lost smile. Thank you very much, Yinli. Ace thanked Yuri heartily. No need to thank me. If you want to thank me, just thank your dad. Yuri glanced at Ace lightly. If it wasn't for Newgate's return, he wouldn't have gone to such trouble to save Ace. Several times, I really almost died. And me. Ace. This is the agreement Yuri and I made. Advertisement. Luffy asked for credit with a playful smile. Luffy, we'll talk about it later, this time it's me and Whitebeard. Agreement reached. Luffy saves him and he agrees to help save Ace. The condition for letting Whitebeard return to the team is to rescue Ace. But once you save someone, you complete 2 agreements. Yuri can't do such a shameless thing. Oh, have you reached an agreement with Dad? Yuri, can you tell me what kind of agreement it is? Ace frowned, he had a bad feeling. Yes, Yuri. What kind of agreement is it? Please tell me. I want to know too. Luffy also joined in the fun. Nothing. It's just that Newgate promised me that if I help him successfully rescue Ace, he will leave the Whitebeard pirates and join my Rocks pirate. Now, since you have come out, the agreement is complete. Yuri told Ace and Luffy the content of the agreement indifferently. They would know about it sooner or later. What? Dad is leaving us? Ace's face was full of shock. Suddenly, he got angry. It must be the evil guy in front of me who wants to destroy the entire island several times and doesn't care about the lives of the brothers on the ship. He took this opportunity to save him and blackmailed his father. Hateful. How dare you blackmail Dad? It's all your fault. I don't need you to save me. What bullshit, Rocks pirate? Does Dad deserve to join? Fire punch. Ace is angry. The right fist burst into flames. Swing it hard at Yuri. Who has this bad habit? Leave Lousy alone. Yuri frowned and glanced at Ace. Take action. Pa. Hey, Dad, Be happy, Ace is rescued. Thanks to Yuri for this trip. We must thank him properly later. Yes. After we leave here, let Ace thank him properly and toast him with a few more glasses of wine. If it weren't for him, our brothers might have been killed or injured even more. That's necessary. But, if he gets drunk and does it again like just now, Sphinx Island won't be able to bear it. Ha ha ha. The white team captains congratulated their father and laughed happily. Whitebeard was also very happy and decided to invite Yuri to his hometown. The two of them would have a good drink after the battle under the sunset. Suddenly, they sensed something is wrong. Flames rose from Ace's body. His right fist, filled with infinite flames, struck hard at Yuri in front of him. What happened? Why did Ace attack Yuri? No, it's so close. I'm afraid Yuri won't be able to react and will suffer. Captain Marco, get ready to treat Yuri. He is the great benefactor of our Whitebeard pirates, we cannot let him get hurt. Ace, what's going on? But, before they could finish speaking, then he saw Yuri reach out his hand and give an ordinary slap. Moment. The flame goes out. The slap continued unabated and hit Ace hard on the face. Boom. The powerful force instantly knocked Ace into the air, and he fell towards this side, being helped by Whitebeard. Subsequently, Yuri turned his head. Looking here, he spoke expressionlessly. Hey, Newgate, take good care of your son. If you keep fooling around like this, you might get kicked out one day. Chapter 53 Betrayal. White Team Leader vs Yuri. Fight until death. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Yuri was not polite, knocked Ace unconscious with a slap, and fell towards Whitebeard. First, because Ace is Roger's son. Although he didn't like that his father was guilty and his son had to inherit that trick, he might not feel good about being the son of an enemy, let alone Ace taking the initiative to provoke him. Secondly, he knew what was going to happen next. Knowing that Ace, a fool, would run back to fight as soon as he heard Akainu's provocation. As a result, everyone's efforts have been fruitful. So without saying a word, he just knocked him out to prevent history from repeating itself and the rescue failing. But this scene left both parties confused at the same time. What's the situation? Marine didn't understand why Ace suddenly attacked his savior, and Yuri slapped Ace unconscious. Originally, they planned to continue the attack, but when they saw this scene, they stopped. They wished that there would be civil strife between Yuri and Bai Tuan. The captains of the white group also didn't understand what happened. However, Ace is their family. He is the brother they sacrificed their lives to save. Since he chose to take action, he must have his own reasons. There must be something wrong with Yuri. If pirates on the sea want to stand firm, the first thing is to unite, and the second thing is to be a wolf. If you dare to take action against your comrades, no matter whether it is right or wrong, kill them first. Then, all the pirates in the white group looked at Yuri with different eyes. The gratitude I felt just now disappeared in an instant. Hey, Yuri, why did you hit Ace so hard? Ace is our family. Attacking our family is equivalent to declaring war on our Whitebeard pirates. Do you want to die? Apologize. Otherwise I'll be rude to you. Hey, isn't this the captain of the 2nd Division of the Whitebeard pirates? He was knocked unconscious by a slap. PFF'd. You white group are really embarrassing. Anyone can attack your comrades. Originally, the pirates were in a very irritable mood. Coupled with Marine's anger, many pirates lost their ability to judge. Even the captains couldn't persuade them and wanted to take action against Yuri. Suddenly, Whitebeard spoke. Stop. The main task now. It's cover Ace, get out of here safely. Contrary to his son's indiscriminate behavior, Whitebeard has been with Yuri for 10 years and knows that Yuri is not an impulsive person. As for why Ace was beaten, we will naturally find out when Ace wakes up. The top priority is to leave safely. Marine's pursuit is no small matter. Want to leave? All Marines listen to the order and immediately pursue Ace and Roxy Yuri of the Whitebeard pirates. They must be left here. Life or death. Seeing this, Sengoku issued a martial order. In an instant, the Naval Headquarters 3 Admiral, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Headquarters Vice Admiral, and the Marines who fell into a coma due to Yuri Conqueror's impact and now woke up, led by Marine Marshal Sengoku, launched an all-out pursuit. Suddenly, there was a huge crowd, full of momentum. Hey hey hey. This is not going to be easy. Whitebeard frowned as he looked at Yuri, who had returned beside him. His current body has reached its limit. On their side, Yuri is the only one with super combat power. The top players on the opposite side include Akainu, Kuzan, Kizaru, Sengoku, Hawkeye, and Garp. Even if Hawkeye doesn't take action, even if Garp still lies in the ruins and doesn't appear, even if Akainu is also seriously injured, they still can't defeat him. The situation is extremely critical. It seems. We need to summon some allies. Yuri also knew that Marine was determined to keep them. He alone cannot withstand the opposing lineup. Not to mention 4 or 5 powerful Emperor generals, even if there were 2, he could barely resist for a moment. 3 of them would be defeated without a doubt, and 4 of them would not be able to escape. As for the 5, they would be killed in less than an hour. Beat him to death. Advertisement. Summon allies. Hearing this, Whitebeard was stunned for a moment. Hey, Yuri, even if you ask, Kaido and Linlin won't come to help me. Whitebeard thought that Yuri contacted those 2 people after he was released from prison. After all, he is also the young master of everyone in Rock's Pirate. What are you thinking about? Don't say they too don't listen to me. Even if you listen to me, it's too late even though we're thousands of miles away. The helper I want to invite is someone else. However, you most likely don't want to join forces with him. Yuri explained. The guy the first don't want to join forces with. Whitebeard frowned, and several figures appeared in his mind, but he still couldn't think of who Yuri was talking about. Hello. Come out. We form a temporary alliance. The reward is what you came here to take. I will help you get it. How? At this moment, Yuri shouted towards the shattered Marine headquarters. This move made Marine and pirates confused at the same time. An alliance? Who was he talking to? No. This is the Marine headquarters. Where can he find allies? He won't be talking nonsense and want to scare us, right? Hey, Pirate Yuri, you don't have to bluff, it's useless. That's right. Stop resisting and surrender. Marine pressed forward step by step, continuing to undermine the pirates' fighting spirit. Suddenly, someone noticed something was wrong with the collapsed Marine headquarters. Hello, everyone, look there. There seems to be something there. Everyone looks towards the Marine headquarters. I saw an extremely tall, ugly human being hiding behind, unable to hide it no matter how hard I tried. This is giant battleship, San Juan Wolf. Is it him? Isn't he imprisoned in the Impel Down Prison? Why did he come here? San Juan Wolf. The giant race. Paramesha expansion fruit power user. Nicknamed Giant Battleship. He can turn into a terrifying 180-meter tall supergiant. After being captured by Marine, he was imprisoned on the 6th floor of the Impel Down Prison. Yeah, it's been discovered. Seeing that he was discovered, San Juan Wolf was stunned for a moment, and then he was helpless. Captain, what should I do now? Thief ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha. Suddenly, laughing maniacally, he appeared from behind the Marine headquarters. Then, several figures walked toward the battlefield. When everyone looked around and recognized the person, they were immediately shocked. 7 warlords of the sea. Captain of the Blackbeard pirates. Blackbeard, Marshal D. Teach. The helmsman of the Blackbeard pirates. Champion, Giz's Badgers. The sniper of the Blackbeard pirates. Otatsu, Van Oka. Navigator of the Blackbeard pirates. Devil Sheriff. Lafayette. Blackbeard pirates ship doctor. Shinigami. Poison Q. Impel Down Warden. Shiryu of Rain. Impel Down the 6th floor prisoner. The King of Evil. Avalo Pizarro. Impel Down the prisoners on the 6th floor. Xuanyu Hunter. Katrine Diame. Impel Down the 6th floor prisoner. Big Wine. Basque Chote. Advertisement. Why are the Blackbeard pirates here? Why are there so many prisoners on the 6th floor of Impel Down? Why is the warden of Impel Down here? Wasn't he imprisoned by Chief Magellan? Looking at them walking together, can you tell? Seeing them walking together, the Marines began to speculate, and for a moment they couldn't tell whether they were friends or foes. It's Teach. Damn it. The guy who killed his comrades still dares to show up so brazenly. He also caused Ace to almost be executed. We must not let him go this time. When the people in the white group saw Blackbeard appear, their anger suddenly surged. Blackbeard didn't care about this. He came to the side of Marine and the pirates, looked at Whitebeard, and grinned. Thief, ha 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 ha. Hey, Dad. Long time no see. Whitebeard's expression was gloomy, with murderous intent in his eyes. Teach. You guy, you still dare to appear in front of me. Teach knew how powerful Whitebeard was, so he took 2 steps back in fear, then laughed again. Ha ha ha. Dad, don't be so nervous. I came here this time because I have something to do with the guy next to you. As he said that, he turned to look at Yuri, who made him frightened. After all, in jail, this person is a face-to-face. Then he killed everyone in the black group except him. Although he went to the 6th floor and found a few strong partners who were willing to follow him. But against Yuri, I still don't feel like I have a chance of winning. Therefore, he plans to listen to Yuri's suggestions, form an alliance, and get rewards. Hey, Yuri, do you know what I want? Yuri glanced at Blackbeard and said calmly, isn't it just a devil fruit? I agreed for him. The temporary alliance with him is not forced by the situation. But when Luo said that Whitebeard might die at any time because of shock fruit, he made a plan. He plans to use Blackbeard's fruit ability to suck away Whitebeard's shock fruit. First, it can prevent Whitebeard from dying due to the power of the earthquake. Secondly, we can take this opportunity to let the Blackbeard pirates take action against Marine and help them evacuate. Third, he can get a living Whitebeard. Kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Why not do it? You actually know I want this. Blackbeard was frightened and secretly thought that Yuri indeed knew his plan, but he was more curious. It's not that I don't believe you, why do you make the decision for him? Because I am his captain. Yuri said naturally. Hearing this, Blackbeard was stunned. After reacting, he laughed. Ha ha ha. Thief, ha 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 ha. It's really interesting. Good. I promise you. The conversation between the two was incomprehensible. What devil fruit? What captain? Let Marine and pirates harvest paste at the same time. But one thing is certain. The Blackbeard pirates suddenly appeared on the battlefield and formed a temporary alliance with the Rocks pirates. As for the purpose of the alliance, it is obviously to deal with Marine. But something unexpected happened. I saw Yuri suddenly taking action towards Whitebeard beside him. In his hands, electric energy surged. Advertisement. This blow came so suddenly and so fast. Even the peak Whitebeard may not be able to react, let alone the seriously injured Whitebeard whose body has reached its limit after repeated battles. Whitebeard couldn't even react, not to mention the white team captains who are close to him. Moment. Yuri's hand filled with electric energy hit Whitebeard hard. Whitebeard didn't even react before he was stunned. Then he was thrown towards Blackbeard by Yuri's hand. Teach. Give it to you. You should know what to do. Blackbeard took over Whitebeard's corpse, his face full of ecstasy. Thief, ha 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 ha. Don't worry. It will be returned to you intact. After saying that, he took out a big black cloth and covered himself and Whitebeard's corpse. More than 773 of its crew members are surrounding it. This scene shocked everyone. Marine was dumbfounded. He didn't expect that the 2 people who were allies before would be betrayed in the blink of an eye. Hey, are these pirates? They fly away when disaster strikes. This Yuri seems to be selling Whitebeard who has reached his limit to teach in exchange for his support to escape from here. This is how pirates behave. Betrayal. Selfish. Heartless. Sure enough, all pirates deserve to die. Oh, things have developed in an unpredictable direction. Kizaru lowered his chin. Kuzan frowned. A strong person can feel the character of his opponent from his opponent's courage. He didn't think Yuri was such a duplicitous guy. HMPH. Dog eat dog. Akainu didn't even bother to guess the reason, he wished they both died here. This guy. What is he going to do again? Similarly, Sengoku doesn't believe that Yuri will kill Whitebeard, but he knows the relationship between Whitebeard and Yuri. But he also chose to wait. Yuri openly attacked Whitebeard, and the pirates of the White Group would definitely not let him go. There is a saying in the Land of Flowers, When the snipe and the clam fight, the fisherman will profit. They want to be that fisherman. Damn. Yuri. What did you do? You guy, how dare you take action against Daddy? And hand Daddy over to teach. First ace. Now it's Dad. You really deserve to die. Brothers and sisters of the White Group, let's all go, kill this guy. The pirates of the White Group are going crazy. Dad is their belief and their pillar of support. Now my father has been betrayed by a guy who was regarded as an ally. He was severely injured and his life and death are unknown. This bloody feud must be avenged. Hey, what's going on? Yuri boy, why are you doing this? Ivankov covered his mouth and his eyes widened in disbelief from the prison escape team not far away. Master Yuri, what on earth are you going to do? Luo frowned, and he suddenly realized that Yuri, whom he thought he was familiar with, was now so unfamiliar. Was this his original plan? To kill Whitebeard who betrayed him? Crocodile thought of a possibility. Dad, Mr. Yuri, how could this happen? Jinbei looked confused. Yuri killed Ace's dad. Luffy's eyes widened and he immediately frowned. Hey, there must be some misunderstanding. Everyone, hurry up and stop them from fighting. It's useless, Straw Hat Master. I can't persuade you anymore. Luo looked at the Whitebeard team captains not far away who were frantically charging at Yuri, and shook his head silently. Yes, the hatred for killing my father is irreconcilable. There is no room for relaxation between the Whitebeard pirates and Yuri. Chapter 54. Let's see how powerful our Rock's pirate is. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The battle is about to begin. Damn it. I must kill you. Murloc Karate 3000 pieces of Wa Shokan. The captain of the 8th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, the Fishman Clan Namur, attacks Yuri. Looking at the incoming fist, Yuri's facial expression did not change, and he just slapped his hand. Namuel was knocked away. You guy. Give Daddy his life. Meteor impact. Rakuyo, the captain of the 7th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, swung a huge bolus and hit Yuri. Yuri's expression remained unchanged. With a twist of his body and a move of his right hand, he threw Lakayal out with his hammer. Kill you. Revenge for Dad. Emission Hockey hyphenation point Dangzanmaru. The captain of the 10th Division of the Whitebeard Pirates, Wanokuni Izo, who is as beautiful as a woman, uses his signature skills. Emission Hockey. Captain of Newgate's men, there is indeed something. This blow made Yuri look very suspicious. After all, it is emission hockey, a high-end application of armament hockey. It can ignore defenses and cause internal attacks. It is not a bad thing. But that's all. Using 10 fingers in succession, the flying bullets that covered hockey were scattered one by one. I won't spare you. Rose Dance. Whitebeard Pirates, captain of the 5th Division, Beasta, launches an emission slash. The same slap. But this slap gave a little respect and covered armament hockey. One by one, the captains of the White Group attacked Yuri, but they were all easily defeated. One by one. Really? No brains at all. Seeing more and more people rushing towards him, Yuri got annoyed. He dodged and rushed into the crowd. People wandered through the crowd, inciting with their hands. A clear sound resounded throughout the battlefield. After every sound, someone was slapped away. Damn it. Diamond impact. Too arrogant. Phoenix Seal. Josie and Marco also began to join the fight. Originally, they didn't take action. The two were first adopted by their father and had heard the story of Yuri from the Rocks group. Knowing that the relationship between my father and Yuri is very good, I guess there may be something hidden in this matter. But for now, numerous brothers and sisters. Being beaten by Yuri like a piglet, they had no choice but to take action. Yuri looked a little serious when he saw the approaching Diamond Josie and Marco, who had turned into a human animal form and fell from the sky. After all, the two of them have the strength of the Disaster Star's superior and the Emperor's deputy, so they need to be given some weight. Emission Hockey. 2 hands, each extending an index finger. The fingers are covered with crimson emission hockey. Pointing at Josie's shoulder and Marco's claws as they rushed towards him. Boom. Fingers collided with the two. The powerful impact instantly knocked away the surrounding pirates. But something happened that made Bai Tuan horrified and helpless. Yuri only used 2 fingers to restrain the 2 strongest people in Baituan except his father Whitebeard. A sense of powerlessness surged into their hearts. Such an opponent, what should they do to avenge their father? Oh, it's really scary. Kizaru knew about Margau's strength. Although he was not as strong as him, he was still extremely powerful and could kick him away with one blow. Now, it was easily blocked by Yuri. His strength is getting stronger. Kuzan is sensitive to this. Advertisement. He had experienced Chaozi's collision. Although he was attacked by surprise, he also suffered a lot. But now, a finger is holding it back. Everyone in the white group fights so easily and freely. This is even stronger than when I fought with him before. Kuzan guessed correctly. Yuri's strength is indeed getting stronger. After all, he had been imprisoned for 36 years, and his body had not adapted to the rhythm of battle at all. As we fight for a long time now, everything in the past is slowly coming back. Moreover, the power that awakened in the body not long ago is subtly transforming the body. His strength is getting stronger every moment. Not to mention dealing with the Whitebeard pirate team captains who don't have any Imperial General level strength in front of them. Even if there are a few more Shichibukai, he can easily crush them. Everyone, don't be discouraged. The worst we can do is fight and die together to accompany Daddy. Watching everyone stay away. Big Vortex Spider, Skuyard roared angrily. Then, with red eyes, he raised his knife and charged at Yuri. Go forward indomitably. There is no retreat when there is progress. Even if he dies, he must repay his father's kindness. The other members of the white group, inspired by this, also began to launch a death charge. At this time, the location of the Blackbeard pirates. From the place covered by the black curtain, a very familiar voice suddenly came out. Gula Lala, sons. I'm fine. Everyone turned their heads, only to see the curtain being lifted open, revealing Whitebeard's tall body. It's Dad. Dad is fine. Woo, Dad, it turns out you're not dead. Everyone in the white group turned from sadness to joy and quickly gathered around him. Whitebeard felt the demonic power disappearing from his body and his body relaxed. He already knew what was happening. Blackbeard teach who killed his son. Taking away his ability with dark fruit is equivalent to saving him. A grudge. The war between him and Blackbeard is over. After taking a deep look at Blackbeard, Whitebeard walked towards Yuri with a serious expression. Although I know you mean well, that's Teach. The Teach who killed my son. Yuri looked at him with the same serious expression. I knew you wouldn't agree, so I did it myself. Ace has been rescued and the agreement has been completed. From now on, you are mine. I have the final say on your life and death. Both of them had extremely serious expressions, staring at each other. The atmosphere suddenly became solemn. Suddenly, Whitebeard looked up to the sky and laughed. Gu la la la, I really can't do anything to you, Captain. Captain. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the 100 Regiment was shocked. At this time, Ace woke up after being knocked unconscious. He also happened to hear Whitebeard calling Captain Yuri. With a gloomy expression, he told the brothers of Baituan everything. What? Dad is leaving us. Damn it. This guy actually took this opportunity to threaten Dad. The white pirates were angry at Yuri's sudden attack on Ace and his father. At this time, when I heard that my father wanted to break away from the white group and leave them for such reasons, my anger suddenly surged up again, and I wanted to attack Yuri again. Just kill him. Rock's pirate is no more. Dad, there is no need to accept his coercion and go with him. Stop. Whitebeard roared. Looking at the sons with grief and anger on their faces, I couldn't say any harsh words. He just said calmly, I will stay for a while to give you final training. After that, you will deal with Blackbeard Teach who killed your brother. Dad. Seeing that Dad had made a decision, everyone in Baituan was extremely reluctant to give up. But at the same time, they also deeply grudged Yuri and Blackbeard for causing all this. Snort. The tender moments are over. Next, you will all be buried in hell. The dog eats the red lotus. I originally thought that after Whitebeard died, the Whitebeard and Yuri would kill each other, but it turned out to be a farce. The Marines just stood there and watched. What a nonsense. Advertisement. Sakazuki was angry and took the lead in attacking. Thief ha ha ha. Suddenly, Blackbeard's wild laughter came from not far away. Everyone turned to look and saw a white halo emerging above his right fist, and the surrounding atmosphere began to vibrate under this force. This is. Everyone was horrified and their eyes widened. Then Blackbeard was seen punching forward. Click. Kaka. Moment. The atmosphere in front of the fist was shaken out of the cracks of the spider web. The cracks are getting bigger and bigger, spreading towards the Marine headquarters ahead. The Marine headquarters, which had not completely collapsed under this blow. Thief ha ha ha. Thief ha 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 ha. This is the power. The power to destroy the world. Blackbeard was so proud that he finally obtained 2 of the 3 abilities he dreamed of. Now, his strength has also been promoted to a whole new era. His ambition and desire will begin to thrive at this moment. The power of shock fruit. What's going on? Why does Blackbeard also have this fruit ability? Could it be that he swallowed Whitebeard's fruit power in the black cloth just now? Hey, can you swallow the powerful devil fruit? So, Blackbeard now has dual fruit abilities. One is Junjun. The other is darkness. How strong is he now? Marine was shocked. Blackbeard suddenly appeared and gained the ability shock fruit. That's all. After all, he is Shichibukai and belongs to Marine's side. But now, he destroyed Marineford with 1 blow, and also made an agreement with the pirate Yuri, so he is obviously an enemy. Opposite. Whitebeard and Yuri are already difficult enough. Now, there is another Blackbeard pirate group whose strength has increased dramatically. Can we really succeed in defeating them? Doubts arose in Marine's mind. Everyone cheer up. He's just a conspirator who only knows how to hide behind and make small moves. Sengoku spoke and his voice spread throughout the audience. After just this period of thinking and observation, he already knew everything. The reason why Blackbeard chose to give ace to them was planned from the beginning. He will take advantage of the battle between Whitebeard and Marine to sneak into the Impel Down Prison, cooperate with the traitor Shiryu inside and outside, and go to the 6th floor to recruit partners. He is a complete conspirator. Such a guy must be a big threat in the future and must be eliminated. Thinking like this, Buddha's light surged around Sengoku. He once again activated the fruit's ability, transformed into a giant Buddha, and attacked Blackbeard. Buddha's impact. The golden Buddha palm covers the sky and the sun. A powerful shock wave instantly hit the arrogant Blackbeard. While hitting him and vomiting blood, the ground more than 10 meters around him was also shattered. Captain. Yoho. Take a hit from me. Suddenly, Blackbeard is behind him. The tall and burly figure of the helmsman Badgers jumped up and headed towards the battle. Guo attacked with his fist. This punch came very suddenly. Even Sengoku is hard to avoid. Boom. Suddenly. The ruins of the Marine headquarters not far away suddenly exploded. A figure appeared in the sky above Badges in an instant. The more burly figure completely enveloped him, and its right fist hit his face and swung it fiercely. Get away. Boom. 1 punch. Blow Badgers away completely. Lying on the ground, unable to struggle for a long time. Vice Admiral Garp. Marine hero. Iron Fist. Garp, returns to the team again. Never mind. Sengoku asked Garp. Advertisement. Ah, I've thought it over carefully. Garp no longer hesitates. Now that Ace has been rescued and Luffy is also in the army, he has no worries. As for the remaining Whitebeard, Yuri, Blackbeard. For justice. Just fight. In that case, all Marines, follow my orders. Attack. Following Sengoku's order, Marine, Shichibukai, Whitebeard Pirates, Blackbeard Pirates, and the Prison Break team started a melee again. This time, the offense and defense changed. Pirates, turn to defense and begin to retreat. Marine, take the initiative to attack and pursue vigorously. The battle lasted for a full hour. The huge Marineford square was filled with blood. The Marine pirates all suffered numerous casualties. Brew. Suddenly, the phone rang in Sengoku's arms. Hey, I'm Sengoku. Sengoku, I am Sarton. We already know the situation on the battlefield. Both the Whitebeard pirates and the Blackbeard pirates can leave, but Rox D. Yuri must be captured. The sound was not loud, but it was carried throughout the battlefield by Sengoku using a loudspeaker phone. Hearing the order from the 5 elders, almost everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Ha ha ha. It seems that the other party only wants you. Yuri. Blackbeard's eyes were sly. In the battle just now, he and Akainu exchanged several blows and were seriously injured. I know that I have not fully mastered the power of shock fruit yet, and I am still far away from those strong ones. Now, the 5 elders sent an order to Yuri. He plans to withdraw. Great Dad. Marine's target is not Ace now, but that guy, let's go. Yes, Dad. Not only did he hit Ace, he also launched a surprise attack on you, allowing Blackbeard to take away your power. Let's leave him alone. Dad, leave him alone. If he dies, the Rock's pirate will be settled. You don't have to abide by the agreement and go with him. Dad, let's go quickly. The pirates in the white group tried to persuade Whitebeard. And Whitebeard was also lost in thought. What he was thinking about was not whether he should leave, but whether he should let his sons stay. Finally, he made a decision. Gulala, sons, evacuate. Everyone in the white group was delighted, thinking that their father had agreed. He immediately began to leave the square, cross the ice sea, and run towards the ship. Dad, all 43 captains under my command have left. We're the only ones left, it's time to go. Looking at the few sons left behind him, Whitebeard suddenly waved his naginata and slashed towards the ice. Suddenly, an extremely powerful slash appeared. Unfold the ice layer completely. Endless sea water poured in, forming an ocean, completely separating himself from his sons. Then, he smiled at his son. The captain is fighting, how could the crew retreat and leave? Go ahead, turn around and stand next to Yuri. Looking at the Marine who was surrounded by a crowd of people on the other side, he roared angrily. Gulala, lousy, it's Whitebeard, Rock's pirate, Edward Newgate. When Yuri heard this, a smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Looking at Whitebeard standing next to him with a knife, time seemed to have returned to 36 years ago. Rock's pirate, whenever he goes into battle, Whitebeard, who has yet to grow a beard, and Golden Lion, who has a head full of golden sails, stand by his side to help him. Behind him are Linlin, Kaido, Akoku, John, Silver Axe, Fire Flower, and Stussy. And he stood in front of everyone. Then, his father would say, Yo, Dragon, get the guy on the other side. See how awesome our Rock's pirate is. Yuri looked at Marine across from him and said this proudly, then took a deep breath and grinned. Young ones, let's have a big fight. Chapter 55 Hancock. Is this too early to get pregnant? Previous chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Marine Headquarters, Marineford. Because of 5 elders' phone call and Sengoku's deliberate leak of information. The situation changes instantly. The Blackbeard pirates retreat immediately. All the pirates of the Whitebeard pirates were sent away by Whitebeard, leaving him alone. As for the prison escape team, they were also sent to Luo's submarine by Yuri. Now the battlefield. The sun is setting at this moment. Yuri and Whitebeard stood side by side, their shadows stretched far apart. And stepping on their shadows are Marine Marshal, Marine Hero, Marine 3 Admiral, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Naval Headquarters Vice Admiral, and tens of thousands of elite naval soldiers. But the two of them were not afraid. Facing thousands of Marine troops, he still laughed proudly. At this moment, it's like going back to the Rock's pirate period. It's just that it's different from then. Daddy Rocks is dead. Golden Lion Shiki is dead. Linlin and Kaido left. The Flame Flower has returned to 9 Snakes Island. Stussy is nowhere to be found. Akoku's whereabouts are unknown. John and Silver Axe died in the Valley of the Gods and were turned into zombies by Moria. The huge pirate group fell apart. So, this is why I came back. Is there anything more beautiful than being able to reunite with your family, stay healthy, and conquer the world at the same time? Newgate, there shouldn't be one, right? Yuri turned his head and looked at Whitebeard standing next to him holding a knife. Gulala, Yuri, your goal is really lofty. This is a super wish that is 100,000 times greater than becoming the Pirate King. Whitebeard's mouth, a wisp of hair on his waist. Then he looked serious and his eyes were full of worry, but now, it seems a bit difficult. Garp and Sengoku on the opposite side are strong men who can rival Roger and me. Those three brats are no weaker than the previous generation. Plus that guy with the sword. I'm afraid it will be a little difficult for us to leave this time. Whitebeard chose to stay because he was determined to die. Ace has been rescued. As the father of the Whitebeard pirates, he has no regrets. Is it? Yuri couldn't deny it. Newgate, do you know what I'm most afraid of after being in prison for 36 years? Aged. Whitebeard didn't understand why Yuri asked. But he hopes that he is the same person he was 36 years ago. That, with unlimited physical strength, Hockey can release it at will, and he can fight for 10 days and 10 nights without getting tired. No. Actually, I'm afraid. After I came out, all the people I was familiar with and the super strong people I knew in this sea were dead. Then I should be so lonely. There seemed to be stars shining in Yuri's eyes. Advertisement. Devil fruit makes him stronger every moment. However, without a strong opponent, what is the use of being strong? Master is lonely. Devil fruit. Make him immortal. But, if there are no familiar people in this sea, then is it necessary for this world to exist? Gulala. Yuri. You really are Tao. Aren't you afraid that you will never get out and die in Impel Down Prison? Whitebeard smiled. He knew that Yuri had not changed at all after decades of imprisonment. It's still the same as before when I was 10 years old, getting excited when meeting strong people. Ha ha ha. Whitebeard's words made Yuri smile. Newgate, let me tell you a secret quietly. What? This fruit that the old man snatched gave me the ability to live forever. Immortality. Whitebeard was stunned. Even though he is the strongest man in the world, he has never heard of such a thing. Roger, who was also invincible to the sea, passed away not because of illness. So, is there really immortality in this world? If there really is. Whitebeard glanced at Beehive, this familiar yet unfamiliar partner beside him. If there really is, then, there is no reason not to let you go. Gulala. Immortal. It's really good. So Yuri, live well. You haven't seen the vastness of this sea yet. You don't deserve to die here. Finished. Whitebeard reached out, grabbed Yuri's arm, and wanted to throw him out. With his strength, he is enough to throw Yuri 10 miles away. With Yuri's flying ability, he can definitely escape Marine's pursuit. But to his surprise, he didn't pull. I tried again, but it still didn't pull. Seeing Yuri looking at him with a smile, Whitebeard let go. Gulala. It seems that you are really old. Keep fighting. Devil fruit is deprived, penetrated in the internal organs by lava. The current Whitebeard is already a bed of force. And Yuri is getting stronger all the time. Newgate. Sweep the formation for me. Yuri moved his wrist, he was about to take action. Gulala. Even if you are old, there is no point in watching the captain fight alone. Whitebeard held Kong Yunchi in his hand. He lost his fruit ability and his body was too weak to use hockey. Advertisement. Now, swordsmanship is his only reliance. Newgate, have you forgotten how the Rocks fought before? Before. Whitebeard recalls the past. In every battle, Captain Rocks leads them to charge. Yuri, who was less than 10 years old, was ordered by the captain not to go out to fight and to stay on the ship. Instantly, he understood what Yuri meant. He is just like Yuri in the past. Yuri looks at him now, just as he looked at Yuri in the past. Really are. Whitebeard looked up and smiled bitterly. He knew he couldn't persuade Yuri. Stop. Suddenly, a cold and anxious voice appeared. Then, the back of a tall and perfect woman stood in front of Yuri. The woman looked across at Marine and spoke. Igia. Fagarland Boa Hancock Palace. Now, in the name of the Fegaland family, I order you to stop and let the two of them leave. It's Boa Hancock. No matter how much she hates this name. But in order to save her fiancé with only one name, the man who had been talked about by her mother-in-law for decades, she used this identity for the first time that she hated so much that she didn't want to mention it. On the other side, Sengoku was tired. Why did someone jump out again? Are you, Boa Hancock, related to this guy named Yuri? You can't just save him just because he's handsome. What a child's play. He has nothing to do with you. Why do you want to help him? Some things are only spread among celestial dragons. Sengoku also doesn't know about Boa Hancock's relationship with Yuri. Who said he has nothing to do with the I family? After Hancock finished speaking, he came to Yuri, stretched out his hand and hugged his arm. She is Rox D. Yuri's fiancée. As soon as these words were spoken, the entire audience fell silent. Immediately, there was an endless roar. What? Lord Hancock is this pirate's fiancé? Hiss. The most beautiful woman in the world is actually this fiancé named Yuri. Wait a minute. Rumor has it that the Fegaland family accepted Master Hancock as their adopted daughter because he was his fiancé. This legendary man is actually him. What the hell? The man who can make the top family of celestial dragons come forward is actually Rox D. Yuri, who has been imprisoned in the Impel Down Prison for 36 years. Not just ordinary sailors. Even Shichibukai, San Admiral, Garp and Sengoku are also extremely shocking. The man who everyone had speculated for countless years and thought was the top celestial dragons was actually standing in front of everyone, still as an enemy. Sengoku narrowed his eyes slightly and quickly checked the causes and consequences in his mind. Fegaland because he stepped in to save Hancock. However, the 5 elders issued an order to imprison or kill him again. So, should we kill or let go? After taking a deep breath, Sengoku thought everything through and decided to speak. Lord Hancock Palace. Even so, we must keep him. Your adoptive father has agreed to this plan. Fegaland Garanshung is Hancock's biggest and least wanted support. Advertisement. But now, this reliance has lost its effect. That's just right. Don't call Igia Hancock Palace anymore. From now on, please call Igia Rox Boa Hancock. In this world, there has always been a saying that a woman takes her husband's surname. Hancock said this because he was leaving behind everything in the past and planning to fight Marine with Yuri. Suddenly, Hancock felt his little hand warm. A big hand grabbed her hand and stopped her from attacking. Turning around, he saw Yuri looking at him with calm eyes and a smile on his lips. Suddenly, my heart was pounding and my face was red. Yuri, will it be too early to get pregnant? Hancock's shy words caught Yuri off guard. Pregnant. Hold hands. Hancock, are you so innocent? No. What on earth are the flame flowers teaching you? It's okay. I'm infertile. Yuri teased. Whitebeard shook his head helplessly. Hancock was frightened. For countless nights in the past, she had been looking forward to the appearance of this man who had affected her life. She fantasizes about his height and appearance. She was thinking about where she met him for the first time. She has even thought about what kind of wedding to have and how many children to have. She envied those cute children on Nine Snake Island. But now, infertility. Hancock was a little disappointed. Yuri also noticed her disappointment and patted her tail. Kidding. Then, he pulled Hancock to Whitebeard. Okay. You and Newgate stay here together. As he said that, he smiled at the two of them. Let me tell you two a secret quietly. What? ×2. In the previous battles, I never used the full calendar. Since you can't run away, then let's have a big fight. Coincidentally, Whitebeard's sons, as well as the prison escape team, have all left. No worries anymore. And there are things behind him that must be protected. As he spoke, Yuri's eyes suddenly darkened and his black hair began to turn white. An evil and ominous aura emerged. Wherever he went, on the nearby sea, countless schools of fish turned white. Yuri, once again released that power, that unknown power that was consuming a lot of his life force. This is Devil Fruit. Following the basic abilities of electromagnetism and gravity, it has a new ability that allows cells to divide at every moment and produce huge explosions. He calls it the second stage of fruiting. Fission mode. Activate. Next, let's go to full strength. Let the world feel the pain. Chapter 56 Full Combat Power. Feel the pain of the world. Previous chapter. Advertisement. Fission mode. Every cell in the body is dividing crazily, bursting out powerful energy. Not only the electricity, magnetism, gravity and other energy in the first stage will be enhanced. Strength, speed, defense, physical fitness, etc. will also be improved in all aspects. The only drawback is that this mode consumes a lot of vitality and lasts for a limited time. When all the white hair turns black, it will enter the weak stage. As for how long the week period lasts, this is the first full-on mode, and Yuri doesn't know. To be on the safe side, he decided to make a quick decision. Ha 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 ha. Sengoku. Garp. Let me give you a meeting gift first. Magnetism 10,000 swords return to the clan. Under fission mode, the magnetic force is greatly enhanced. Under Yuri's control, the weapons scattered on the entire battlefield all floated into the air, covering the sky and the sun. Then the sword pointed downwards and shot towards the marine camp. There are tens of thousands of people in the marine camp. Although the battlefield is quite large, it is not crowded. But if this blow were to fall, at least thousands of people would die. Oh, it's really scary. 8-foot beautiful Magatama. Yuri's attack covered the sky and the sun. Only the strength of an imperial general can stop it. Among Marine's several high-end combat powers, he is the only one suitable to intercept this move. Watching the 10,000 swords falling from the sky, Kizaru launched his ultimate move. Countless light bombs were launched into the sky, intercepting swords one after another. The two sides collided and the area dissipated. However, there are still many sharp swords that were not intercepted by light bullets and fell into the marine camp. Suddenly, there were a lot of casualties, and screams echoed throughout the battlefield. Alala, I can't let you continue like this. When Kizaru first took action, Kuzan had already rushed towards Yuri. He had no intention of letting Yuri continue to use his skills. After all, every move he makes is too terrifying. He is simply born for killing and destruction. Oh, want to stop me? Yuri looked at the rushing Kuzan and pointed his hands forward. It's not that easy. Get rid of the repulsive force. The powerful repulsive force instantly knocked the unprepared Kuzan back. Then, Yuri raised his hands to the sky. Gravity Tengai Shinsei. Previously, out of fear of hurting Newgate's sons, Yuri playfully pulled down 3 meteorites. But that's not his limit. Now, Marine has given him a kill order, and he has no teammates again. It's time to have fun. A meteorite several times larger than Marineford was pulled into the clouds by Yuri and controlled to target Marineford. You guy, we are really going to destroy this place. The dog eats the red lotus. Before Yuri could take full aim, Akainu was already coming to kill him. Kizaru and Kuzan followed closely behind. Marine 3 Admiral learned the lesson and planned to fight close to prevent Yuri from using his skills. Pity. Advertisement. Yuri shook his head. This meteorite is too big, he needs to aim. Unfortunately, it was forced to disconnect the gravitational force before it could fully aim. That's it. Since you want to play close combat, let's do it. The second stage of fission mode increases the fruit's first stage skills, but the greater increase is his physical fitness. Now every blow carries an extremely terrifying shock wave. The fist wrapped around Conqueror's Haki collided fiercely with Akainu's giant molten fist. Boom. A powerful impact occurs. In an instant, all the ground around him was trampled. Come again. He punched back again and collided with Kuzan's ice glove, causing the ground to continue to collapse. Ha ha. Not enough. Not enough. Another punch collided with the Ivankov sword struck by Kizaru. This piece of ground finally couldn't bear it and completely collapsed into the sea. In this way, Yuri was alone, constantly fighting against the 3 admirals. Wherever the battle went, the ground collapsed completely. Not good. He plans to destroy this island. Sengoku, seeing Yuri's plan, was shocked. If the island really collapses, Yuri can fly, but on Marine's side, only Kizaru can fly. Kuzan. Freeze the entire sea. After giving the order, he turned to the sailors behind him and ordered, all sailors below Vice Admiral, please leave the island. This battle is no longer something you can participate in. Yuri is really scary. The power of each strike is devastating. The whole body is still emitting strange radiation all the time. If a weak person approaches, he will have difficulty breathing and his skin will become ulcerated in a short time. I say. Kuzan heard Sengoku's instructions and planned to freeze the sea. Suddenly, Yuri punched him. Ha ha ha. You won't let me use my big move, but you want to use it yourself. No way. Marines, sink into the sea with me. Among the powerful Emperor generals, no one's ultimate move can be cast instantly. Not Kuzan. Akainu can't. Whitebeard can't do it. Neither can Yuri. Here, only Kuzan has the ability to create artificial land. Just hold him back and prevent him from freezing the sea. If you keep fighting, Marineford will be destroyed sooner or later. At that time, it will be time for the war situation to turn around. That's all. Kuzan wants to zoom in. Yuri goes to stop it. Kizaru intercepts. Akainu pursues. Advertisement. The four of them were still fighting as before. Although Yuri was suppressed, he could continue to hold on for a long time thanks to his speed, second only to Kizaru. Let me go. If we delay it any longer, the entire island will really be destroyed. Whitebeard and Hancock, you can keep an eye on them. Garp finished speaking and joined the battlefield. Now, 4 against 1. No matter how powerful Yuri Devil Fruit is, no matter how powerful his physical talent is, he can't withstand it. Ice Age. Kuzan successfully released his ultimate move, and the entire island and the nearby sea surface were all frozen. Sengoku breathed a sigh of relief when he saw this. But when he looked at Yuri, who was not panicking at all when surrounded by 4 people, he had a bad feeling in his heart. With this premonition, he continued to arrange the retreat of ordinary sailors. The current Marine headquarters is too dangerous for Marine. Hateful. At the edge of the battlefield, Hancock looked at Yuri, who was fighting with a distressed face, and planned to step forward to help. Stop it. Behind him, Whitebeard spoke. Since he asked us to raid the formation here, he naturally has his own plans. After all, he is Yuri. During Rock's Pirate, since Yuri was still very young, his father wouldn't let him play. However, he still plays his role. For example, use the extremely powerful Conqueror's Haki to clear the field at the beginning. For example, on the observation deck, guide the pirates under his command to fight. He invented tactics such as concealing the truth and crossing the sea, besieging Wei and rescuing Zhao, and claiming the east and attacking the west. Relying on these tactics, the Rock's regiment rarely suffered too many casualties every time they fought. So, Yuri, what tactics will you use this time? Whitebeard stared at the increasingly smaller battle circle compressed by the 4 Garps, full of expectation. Not enough. Yuri does have his own plans. The first step is to break up the island as much as possible. As for Kuzan's plan to release the frozen sea of the Ice Age, it has no impact on his plan at all. The reason for chasing him all over the place and not letting him be released is just to better destroy the island. Now, there is still one last position left before the time he plans to use it. In the middle of the island, the Marine headquarters building has completely collapsed. Kid. Surrender. Fist bone impact. Garp struck hard with Conqueror's entangled punch. Yuri couldn't avoid it and was instantly knocked away from the distance. Oh, I can't let you fly too far. Lightspeed kick. 0. Please give me flowers. Yuri can fly. Therefore, when several people are fighting, Kizaru's role is to use speed to prevent Yuri from taking off. Even if it is knocked away, it is not allowed. He used his fruit power and instantly appeared above Yuri in the air. The light gathered on his feet and stepped down towards Yuri. Boom. A powerful blow hit Yuri hard to the ground. What a coincidence. This is exactly the center of Marineford Island, the ruins of the Marine headquarters building. Yuri's figure was smashed into the ruins and disappeared. Advertisement. Garp and the 3 admirals did not dare to relax. One person occupies a position and surrounds this place. Yet, this Yuri can actually last for nearly an hour in the hands of 3 Admiral and Vice Admiral Garp. It's so strong. HMPH. So what if you are strong? You haven't been captured yet. Haha. I ran an ace and caught such a powerful pirate, who is also the captain of Whitebeard. This is a good deal. That's right. Even if Ace is the son of the Pirate King and has the potential to reach the top, how can he compare to Yuri, who is already close to the top? The Marines who had already evacuated cheered wildly when they saw this scene. That Yuri is going to be caught. Captain Marco, what should we do? Who cares what he does? He loves him to death. I just want to bring Dad back. That's right. This Yuri actually cooperated with Teach and took away Dad's shock fruit. His life and death have nothing to do with us. That's right. He also coerced Dad into agreeing to such outrageous conditions, which is unforgivable. Most of the white pirates don't have a good attitude towards Yuri. Seeing that he was defeated and about to be arrested, many people were gloating about his misfortune. Hey, Mr. Yuri, has he been arrested? In the submarine, Luo looked ugly. No matter what Yuri did, he was the real deal and saved everyone several times. Yuri boy. You must hold on. In Ivankov's arms, he was holding Luffy, who had completely passed out after the adrenaline had worn off, with a worried look on his face. That guy, Mr. 1. Let's go. Crocodile took Mr. 1 with him and planned to go out to rescue him. Although he is a pirate, he knows how to repay kindness. Yuri saved him. Mr. 1 also stood up without hesitation. Although he was forced by Yuri and cut off his arm. But one thing leads to another, and besides, his arm is now intact. Hello. This is not a battlefield we can participate in. Besides, Yuri, the boss, told us to leave first. Babo, watch the hatch door tightly, don't let anyone get out. Luo stopped Crocodile and Mr. 1, as well as Jinbei who also wanted to go out. At the same time, located 10 miles away from Marineford, a pirate ship is moving forward. At the bow of the boat, a red-haired man with one arm looked ahead. Marineford, everything is silent. At this moment, everyone is waiting to see the final result. Is Yuri, the vicious pirate who tried to destroy the island, dead, or will he be captured again by Marine and sent to Impel Down? They stared at the ruins surrounded by the 3 admirals and Garp. Suddenly, there was a deep voice coming from the ruins. How many floors does a bag of rice have to endure? Feel the pain. A bag of rice has to stand up to the 2nd floor, think about the pain. A bag of rice is too much to give, accept the pain. Let me wash a bag of rice, understand the pain. I washed so much mud out of a bag of rice, for those who don't understand pain. You cannot understand true peace with those piles of black tiles and tiles. Following the sound, Yuri's figure appeared. Under everyone's gaze, he threw a small black ball the size of a table tennis ball in his hand and spoke to everyone. Everything is mud, starting now. Who gave you a bag of rice to make the world feel pain? Planetary devastation. Ding.